Afternoon. It comes from the capital, it comes from Easter Road. It's Hibernian against Celtic. Live commentary here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland with Scott Allen, John Collins and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. Good morning, everybody. It is a wonderful atmosphere already around Easter Road as the teams come out onto the field. One or two of the players waving to folks in the stands. Hibs will be in their traditional colours. Celtic will change to an all dark green with the sort of lime green highlights coming across, and they're coming down from right to left to shake the hands of the Hibernian players. Hibs make 3 changes from the side that played against Motherwell during the week. Out go Grant Hanley, he's suspended, sent off after 34 minutes. Jack Ardale and Daniel Barlaser drop onto the bench. Warner Hora comes in for his first start in 6 games. Jordan Obita will also start to play at left back, and Miguel Shaiwal comes in to the midfield. So Hibs will have Salinger in goal. The back four of Chris Cadden, O'Hora, Bushiri and Obita. There'll be Mulligan, Shaiwa, McGrath, Nicky Cadden and Boyle and Barry, the 2 players up front. For Celtic, back from their travels in Holland, winning by 3-1, coming from behind against Feyenoord. Little spring in their step. If you weren't with us earlier, Martin O'Neill explaining the one change. Kieran Tierney's had a couple of problems, one with his heel and one with having a toenail removed, which sounds pretty bad to be fair. So he is on the bench. He'll take an injection if he's needed to come in play. So the one change. Kasper Schmeichel is in goal, and it's Donovan, Trusty, Scales, Sarachi, Engels, McGregor, Hitati, McCowan, Maida and Yang. Alongside me, and it's unusual to have 2 guys who've played for both teams in this particular environment, so it's great to have Scott Allen and John Collins alongside me. Scott, from the Hibs perspective, we heard it from David Gray, they want a quick start.
Yeah, I think after Tuesday night they'll know the performance has to be better, and they'll also know that Celtic have had a difficult game away in Europe on Thursday where they expended a lot of energy. Yes, the performance was good from Celtic, but early on in this game they have to make contact, they have to make this Celtic side uncomfortable and make them defend.
And John, from a Celtic point of view, it's kind of strange. They know that a new man's coming, but they're performing so well for Martin O'Neill, they don't want to let him down today.
No, they'll be desperate to continue the winning streak. Domestically, they've been getting the results, not always playing brilliantly, but in midweek it was an outstanding performance. No surprise, there's only 1 change. It was a good team performance. And as usual, Celtic will want to start the game well and get a hold of the ball.
Underway at Easter Road in Edinburgh, all the way back to Salinger, the Austrian goalkeeper. Olympic, it's driven down the right hand side for Hibs. Shaiwa hoofs the ball out wide. It might turn out to be a good pass, almost did. And coming in there was Nicky Cadden. It's turned out to play by Donovan, and it's going to be a throw into Hibs.
It still looks like a back 3, doesn't it? Still looks like a back 3 just from the setup there, pushing the Cadden brothers wide.
It's an interesting choice as the ball comes in down to Nicky Cadden. Nicky Cadden takes a touch, turns it round the side. Jordan Obita goes forward. It's turned out to play Nicky Cadden. Took a little sore one there. And a little bit slow to get back up. Got a little slap on the back from Luke McCowan. And he's back on his feet. And there will be a throw in for Hibs. Jordan Obita back in the side this afternoon. Jack Ardale's actually been one of Hibs' better performers, but he can only find a place on the bench today. So Obita gets ready by the advertising boards, gets in, gets that long throw up to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed up by Trusty, knocked on by Donovan. Hibs still have it, played out wide, nicely done by McGrath. Here's Nicky Cadden with a back heel. Jordan Obita shuffles to get it on his left foot, sends across it deep. Rocky Bushiri was up, couldn't get his header on target. The ball drifts behind. What a bright start from Hibernian.
Excellent play out on the left there, Nicky Cadden. Nice clever little back heel, simple. Obita deliver in the box, that's what you want if you're a forward. Early balls in the box.
Rocky Bushiri up there just hanging about the box expecting a cross, so you would fully expect Hibs to use that to their advantage today, make these Celtic defenders defend. They've got what Hibs have this season, they've good athleticism in their team, they've a good height, and they are a threat from crosses, they're a threat from set pieces, so they could be crucial parts of the game today.
Hibs have lost just one of their last 18 home matches in the Scottish Premiership. If you go back almost exactly 12 months, it was Bushiri who scored that goal against Aberdeen. As Hibs come forward, the ball drops down to Boyle. He tries the shot, didn't really test the goalkeeper, and it's into the arms of Schmeichel. That marvellous game against Aberdeen where Rocky Bushiri arguably saved David Gray's job, and since then, well, Hibs have been almost unbeatable at home. Only Rangers have found the better of them in league football.
Good
Hibs
shot.
pressing very, very hard. Itani goes to ground. Hibs have won the ball. McGrath pulls the ball back to O'Hara. Here's the opportunity for Cadden coming up from the back. Cadden up against Sarachi. Cadden tries to play it off him, goes round him. Yang comes in, gets the ball into the box. McGregor's feet weren't set properly. Cadden comes in. Great pressing from Hibernian.
Excellent. Exactly the start. I was hoping Hibs would pressing high up the pitch, back fours right up to the halfway line, not letting Celtic get any touches, easy touches of the ball.
That's one thing Josh Mulligan's really good at. He lets the goalkeeper, Schmeichel, in this instance, think that he's got that wee bit of 5 yard space to play into Hatate, and just as he's about to play it, he gambles. He's really aggressive with his press. I said that looked like maybe still be a 3. It's definitely a 4. It's definitely a 4. 4 at the back for Hibs today.
Yeah, Obita's definitely in that left back. Cadden has come back to that right full back position. And O'Hara and Bushiri in the middle. Forward by Schmeichel, one by Hibs, taken down by Boyle. 0-0 so far. Good start to the match. It's been lively and bright. 3.5 minutes gone. Here's Sarachi inside his own half. Looks up, turns, plays the ball back into Liam Scales, ever present in the top flight this season for Celtic. Gathers and gets it back again. Opens it up onto Austin Trusty. On to Colby Donovan, closed down quickly by Cadden, but does get the ball away. Bushiri on the halfway line wins it. Shaiwa will gather, pushes it out over Academy. Yang read it all the way. The ball came up off Yang's elbow. Handball is given. Referee is Nick Walsh, very quickly up to spot that. Free kick to Hibs.
Yep, Yang just on the blind side there of Cadden. It was a little bit loose there from Chaiwa, and Yang was away if he got a better touch.
Down the side it goes. Boyles inside. Sarachi tries to get the ball across. Knew that if it wasn't going to cross, it was going to get blocked for a corner, and that's what happens. Hibs corner.
Straight away you can see Boyle's got the pace, the extra yard on the Celtic left back. Sarachi, he's been out for a couple of weeks, looked a little bit stiff there in the turn.
Nice angled run by Martin Boyle. So here is the opportunity from the corner. No surprise, Nicky Cadden coming across to his right hand side to take. Cadden looks ahead, plenty of bodies inside that 6 yard box. It's an inside, goalkeeper stays on his line. Scales got a good header ahead of Bushiri, and now Celtic bring it away. Itati knocks the ball back to McCowan, and he plays it down this left hand side. Yang comes in there, tries to gather, but good tracking back. Josh Mulligan worked hard there. Back to the goalkeeper, out to Obita. He's under pressure immediately from Arnie Engels, and he has to play it back once more. Now it's lifted long up towards the halfway line. Callum McGregor should win that. He heads the ball forward, taken down by Celtic into the back. It doesn't matter who gets involved, really, for the first time. Shower gets the ball away, launches it long. Schmeichel races from his goal, uses his head, gets the ball forward onto Liam Scales. Scales onto the Uruguayan Sarachi. As John mentioned, didn't have the best start to the game. Now the ball played across the Celtic back 4. Nice pace to the game, John Collins.
Yep, nice and lively. Both teams trying to pass the ball, both teams trying to press each other.
That was Luke McCowan there. I think that one that Callum McGregor slid up on the second ball, heads it down to McCowan in the pockets, and no Hibs players went with him. And he just out his feet and slipped that ball through at Maeda. If Maeda gets a better touch, gets a shot on target, but that's the areas where he can really affect this Hibs defence.
6 minutes gone at Easter Road. First meeting of the season ended goalless. There's never been back-to-back league 0-0s between these two. There has been in the cup, but that was way back in 1907. Shiver goes down, had his heels clipped by McCowan, and McCowan just knocks the ball away, and Hibs gather. Ball back to Rocky Bushiri. O'Hara will gather, takes a touch, looks ahead of him to see what's on, plays it back across to Bushiri. Bushiri onto Obita. Hibs just playing the ball inside their own half. Miguel Shower gets it across, back onto O'Hara, onto Chris Cadden. Cadden sends the ball down the side, looking for Boyle. Boyle, good covering by Liam Scales, came and knocked the ball into the Celtic technical area. Boyle with the gloves on, throws the ball in. Opportunity for Hibs to build again. Mulligan comes short, tries to get away from McGregor. McGregor then advances past him to close down O'Hara, back onto Rocky Bushiri, drags the ball away from Maeda, plays it onto this near side, onto his fellow centre half. He'll launch the ball high and low, looking for Bowie. Bowie battles away. Scales, referee decided there was no foul either way, and Rio Itati will gather. Maeda was offside. What a pass that is, up onto Luke McGowan. The goalkeeper's come out. McGowan got a touch, but it blocked off the legs of Raphael Salinger. He had to make that, or that was going to be 1-0.
It's a fantastic scoop pass from Rio Itati. We spoke about it at the top of the show, but that vision he's had, he's been showing signs of that recent week. A lovely timed run from McCowan. I think he could maybe do it better, to be honest. I think he goes with the wrong foot. I think if he goes with his He's left, he can get it by Salinger and maybe have an easy finish into the goal, but just shows you Celtic on the turnover. If Hibs aren't matched up in the midfield, they do have that quality where they can go and punish you.
Great position from Salinger, really important when teams pushed up. He's in the right starting position.
Here's the opportunity now. Ball on the halfway line for Hibs through Boyle. Boyle touches it back. There's a lovely touch by Mulligan. Now he gets over the halfway line. Plays it out wide. On to Chris Cadden. Cadden on the overlap. Back to Mulligan. Mulligan back inside the box looking for Cadden. Good tracking back. Sirachi turns, knocks the ball out of play. Hibs are lively, John.
Yeah, they're knocking it about. They're playing with confidence. They want work Celtic. Make Celtic chase to get the ball back. That's what they're doing.
Bright start from the home team, 0-0 so far. Shaiwa back to O'Hora. O'Hora has a little look. Itati closes him down, sends it round the corner to Mulligan. Back on to Shaiwa. Hibs are doing to Celtic what Celtic so often do to other teams. Just holding on to the ball, making nice passes, and here's the opportunity for McGrath to play it down the side. There's a miscontrol. Obita gets it across. Bowie is just too high for the cross. Breaks to Cadden back into the middle. Mulligan gets the touch, gets it on to Bowie. Bowie lays it off. Chance for McGrath. Good block on the edge of the box from Arnie Engels. That was important. Second ball won by Hibs. They'll come again. Jordan Obita gets it out wide. Cadden, Boyle makes his way into the box. It's driven and headed away up to the edge of the area it goes. Boyle trying to work the 1-2 with McGrath. Arnie Engels getting in there, gets the sliding tackle, gets the ball to Maida. Maida was fouled, and Celtic will clear the lines.
Everything you want from Hibs. They're knocking the ball about. They're getting it wide. They're getting deliveries in the box. Forwards are attacking the ball. I think Obita could have had a better ball in there.
I was just about to say that, John. It was two bits of finesse, let them down.
Yeah.
Cross from, take a little bit more care from Obita, and he picks out Bowie, who's standing free in the box, and then the cut back from Cad. It's a great pick out. I don't know if it's McGrath or Mulligan. Just got away from him, so he wasn't able to get strike away. So really positive start from Hibs. Just that little bit of finesse in the final third that can be all the difference.
It was one of the last meeting of these sides here back in February, looking to win back-to-back matches against Celtic since 2018. That's on their home ground. As Bushiri comes forward, plays the ball out wide onto Obita. Obita gathers, closed down by McCowan. McCowan can't get the pass though. It's played out wide to Cadden back inside the Hibs area. Just moving outside on the left-hand side is Obita up to the halfway line. Bowie up against Trusty, wins it. Referee says play on. Hibs have the ball. Spread from left to right, great pass, Cadden to Cadden. Now Nicky Cadden set up Chris Cadden, wide on this right hand side. He's driving in, trying to get the ball past Yang, and Hibs will have a throw. Taken short onto Mulligan. Mulligan, what a good pick-up he's been. Back to Shaiwa. And now back to the halfway line. Josh Mulligan looks really composed and really at home here at Easter Road. Shaiwa gathers, plays the ball back onto Obita, still waiting for the opening goal in this one, the first of two live matches on Sportsound on this Sunday afternoon. O'Hara plays the ball forward onto Boyle. Boyle, Scales came in with a good tackle, breaks nicely for Celtic. 1-2 worked by Luke McGowan. Maida went early. Yang might have gone too early, but he's come through, squares it. Maida!
It's going to be tight.
Hibs 0, Celtic 1 until the offside flag went up. It will be reviewed. I thought he'd gone a little bit early, but VAR will do its thing and check. Nice move though.
Yeah, there's so much to like, wasn't there, from a Celtic point of view. Initially from Liam Scales, been really aggressive with Martin Boyle, went to tackle, 1-2 with Hitati, a lovely way to pass, and then that slip through the legs. Yang, they did look tight from here. Obviously review it. Oh, they've done it, haven't they?
Yeah, no goal.
Yeah, so it's a positive from Celtic, because Hibs have had the better of the play so far.
Yeah, it's just a little reminder to the Hibs defence that Celtic have got that ability, John, just to spring quite quickly.
Yep, they've got football players that can see passes and players that can make penetrating runs, but Hibs have started the game so well. Look at that,
brilliant ball into the middle, and Boyle goes in. Now Boyle felt he was tripped by Sirachi as he played it in. I think the flag went up as well. Lots for the referee, Nick Box, to look out there.
And what I spoke about before the game, Nicky Cadden, the delivery into the box, it's a magnificent. He's just passed that into that area. He's got to finish it. Boyle, he's got to finish that.
I think it goes with the wrong foot. I think you go with your left. It brings the ball back in towards the goal. But fantastic. That's what I love about Nicky Cadden. It's not chop, and your strikers have to make a run and a run. It's out his feet, and there's a space. Hit it and let your teammates go and attack the space. Very difficult for the Celtic defenders to defend them. But what you see now in this day and age is a lot of times it comes back out, it gets recycled. He sees the space, and your strikers know he's putting this in, and it's very hard to defend.
Scott, you do a lot of coaching now. I mean, when you've got a winger, I've always been of the belief you only need to beat the fullback once. You don't need to go and do it again. Get in there, be direct.
Yeah, and that's
As Mulligan's won it. Mulligan plays the ball on the inside. McGrath lifts it up and over the bar from 18 yards. Again, Hibs are pressing Celtic.
Everything's good about Hibs' game, just with the ball, without the ball. They're at it, they're looking sharp, they're looking hungry. Celtic haven't controlled any of the game so far.
Schmeichel had the ball played back to him by Austin Trusty. And Schmeichel, well, harsh words I think would be the air quotes for the American defender. He sent it right across the 6-yard box, and Martin Boyle, who was just a foot or so away from knocking the ball into the net. Celtic and Hibs 0-0 on St Andrew's Day.
Good play.
Doesn't mind it. Moves away, lovely little ball round the corner, but Abita had read the run. Bushiri buys the free kick from Luke McGowan. Hitati stopped him from taking it quickly, but Hibs get it moving all the same. Up to the halfway line it goes. Here is Josh Mulligan, 21st start for Hibs, into Shiwa. And Hibs again comfortable playing the ball across the back four. Cadden's pushed up way past Mulligan. He's now coming back to this halfway line, and that's where the ball goes. Yang moves forward. O'Hara back onto Bushiri. Celtic now pressing up, trying to take the space away from Hibs. They'll launch it long. Obita sends it down the side, but Trusty, not under pressure from Bowie initially, can bring the ball down. Now Bowie goes after him, almost wins the ball, goes down, tried to buy the free kick, didn't get it. Mick Walsh not fooled by that. Hitati for Celtic, back onto McGregor. Edge of the box for Celtic. They'll pull it up by Scales onto Sirachu's free. Coming up and over the halfway line. Checks on the inside. Wasn't really sure if he wanted to go too much further. Yang was waiting for it, but didn't get it delivered. Callum McGregor plays it across onto Austin Trusty. Now onto Colby Donovan. Round the corner it goes. No way through though for McGowan. McGowan has to play it back to Donovan. Donovan back to Trusty. Trusty back to Scales. Trusty thought the better of playing it back to his goalkeeper and annoying him.
Good play from Celtic.
Just good ball possession. Now moving forward, centre circle. Here's McGregor. McGregor to Donovan. Tati just fell, but McGregor's won the second ball. Obita gets to it first, and then McGregor bundles him over. Jordan Obita makes sure the referee knew he was bundled over. Free kick goes the way of the home team.
Good referee, and it was a free kick. A lot of referees would have pulled out a card there. We don't want to see cards for that. He just knocked it too far in front of him, Calum. He was always getting there a little bit late.
I think the referee's showed pretty good game understanding at the moment. He knows there's going to be the odd physical challenge, and not quick to go to the book. Certainly today, Nick Walsh experienced this fixture on several occasions, so he knows what's involved. Not quite a full house at Easter Road on this Sunday afternoon. I'll tell you what, those who are here have been treated to a pretty good game. 0-0 so far, 15 minutes gone. Hibs out from the back, out wide, onto Nicky Cadden. Scott, I think Hibs should be feeding Nicky Cadden until Celtic encourage them not to. Lovely ball over, there's the challenge. The leg was rising slightly. Obita goes down. That is a yellow card. Just got caught out there. And well, Colby Donovan can complain all he likes. That was a free kick.
Yeah, it's a correct decision. He's lunged. As soon as you go to ground, that's the risk, and he did catch him, and it was a correct decision.
It's that type of pass, isn't it? I think it's, as a full-back, where you think you get the chance to take ball and take the man, you get a little lift for your teammates, but he really mistimes that. Good play from Hibs again though. They're working the ball well, they're switching it, being patient at the same time, and then it works its way back out to Abita, takes a nice positive touch, and Donovan really late with the challenge, but it's another chance for Hibs to put the ball in the box.
So the opportunity will come midway inside the Hibs half, right on that far side. Cadden is standing there.
Space is there for Cadden, isn't it? You see it.
Up he comes. Delivers a terrific ball into the middle. Hora got the first touch. Callum McGregor got the second to hook the ball away, and the ball comes running out to Martin O'Neill. And interestingly, the Celtic manager just decides to let the ball run past him. He wasn't in a hurry. There's now 2 balls on the pitch as Martin Boyle then throws one away, and the opportunity comes for Orna Hora to gather. Playing for the 7th time against Celtic. He's just trying to get Rocky Bushiri to come and cover slightly. Had a little chat with Ian Anderson, the 4th official, and he wants to go forward, kept looking back, now strides, he's stolen yards. Gets the ball into Kieran Bowie, but Celtic will gather. Maida got caught by Shiwa, but he got his pass away onto Donovan. Donovan takes a touch, turns, has to play it back to his goalkeeper, all in yellow. It's Kasper Schmeichel. Gathered forward onto Scales. Scales to Maida, who's dropped short, plays it out wide onto Sriracha. Sriracha on to Yang over the halfway line. Yang drops the shoulder, tries to get away from Mulligan, lays the ball back onto McGregor. These are two good passing teams, entertaining stuff. Here's Donovan, plays it out wide. Look, McCowan drifting the ball on his left foot, now cuts inside. 25 yards from goal, gets it back onto Callum McGregor. McGregor looks up, decides to play it back onto Austin Trusty. Trusty has a little look, sees where his options are, sends it out wide on that right hand side for Donovan. Donovan faces up Cadden, plays the ball back onto the halfway line. Here's Callum McGregor. McGregor looks up. Celtic had the ball in the back of the net, but it was offside. It remains 0-0 here. 18 minutes gone. Here's the opportunity for Celtic, pushing down that right hand side. McCowan has a little look. Donovan goes on the overlap, plays a nice little ball outside the box, right hand side to Tati. Now on to Donovan, low ball in. Bushiri hooks the ball high in there, right on the very edge of the box. Hibs win the first header, but they'll knock the ball out of play, and Celtic will have a throw. And John, just an extended period of play for Celtic inside the Hibs half.
Yeah, man, it's the first period of the game when they've really got control of the ball, making Hibs chase it and work. Ball into Maida, Maida around the corner. McCowan was offside, didn't even try to play it. The ball kept in rather than going for the goal kick, and Hibs will start to build. Warner Horror has to get shouted at by the fans because he turned his back slightly as the ball came to him. Plays it forward, Arnie Engel stretches out, gets it in the centre circle to Callum McGregor, who emerges from the centre circle, clips a little ball in, looking for Yang. Goalkeeper comes and gathers, remains 0-0, 19 minutes gone. Here's Scott Allen.
Listen, it's great vision from Callum. Just runs a wee bit too far for Yang. Yang making that run from outside to in. Hard for a defender to track that. I think Sriracha would get down the outside as well if Callum maybe seen that option. But that all came from O'Hara not being switched on, that Salinger had kept the ball in play. And then when he is surprised that the balls came to him, he just turned it forward and gave away cheap possession.
Lovely play by Celtic. It's with Hatate into the box to Yang. O'Hara forces him wide. Yang cuts the ball back. Bushiri's on the edge. 6 yards back. He's given the ball away. Here's a chance for McGregor. Good block from Obita. Bushiri's defender gave Celtic the second chance. Hatate takes down McGrath 5 yards outside the Hibs area, and Hibs will get a chance to clear their line, but not the best of defending from Hibernian.
It all started with a sloppy pass forward from Obita, giving the ball away needlessly. He's got to keep that composure. They started the game very well, Hibs, but recently they've just been playing a couple of balls, giving it away. Bowie a couple of times the balls come up to him, he's got to hold it. He's got to get better at holding in tight situations as well.
Well, it's no surprise, John, is it? The time where Celtic have had probably their best spell of possession in the game. The distance seems to become a bit bigger for the Hibs players.
Yes.
A bit more fatigue kicks in, and then you become looser on the ball, and that is why it's so key, concentration, especially against a team of Celtic's quality, because it can hurt you if you give the ball away cheaply. Here
comes Mulligan. Hibs had 2 efforts at goal on Tuesday night against Motherwell. They've had 5 efforts so far in the opening 20.5 minutes here at Easter Road against Celtic. So they look like they've got over that midweek disappointment and trying to find a way through. It's with Mulligan on the left-hand side. Hatate closes him down. Mulligan keeps his balance, goes past him, lays the ball back onto Cadden. Cadden back to Obita inside his own half, all the way back onto Raphael Salinger. Kept a clean sheet in his first ever meeting against Celtic earlier this season. Ball sent long. Sriracha gets the header, knocked out of play. Sean Maloney, the former Hibs boss, goes back inside the technical area. It's the opportunity for Hibs to get the throw, although Sriracha's gone down, and he gets a little helping hand from Chris Cadden. Horner is having a little word with the Hibernian bench. David Gray's come out. He's speaking to Rocky Bushiri, and the opportunity for the throw just a couple of yards inside his opponent's half comes for the Dubliner. Has a little look ahead to see what his options are. Celtic got 3 players right in front, and so the ball goes over. Bowie wins the header away from Trusty. Interestingly, I'm watching Kieran Bowie, what John Collins said earlier, how often he's gone up against the centre half and how he's trying to find space. Get John's thoughts in a moment as Obita spins the ball forward, looking for McGrath. Donovan is in the wrong position. McGrath's got the better of him, he's come inside him, and Trusty has to rescue him to knock the ball out of play on that far side.
It's actually a really good ball. It just gives Kobe Donovan that wee element of doubt. Can he clear it? And Jamie McGrath, at his tails. He actually does really well, get his body between the ball, take that touch into the box. Just then can't quite get control of the ball to find a teammate for a pass, but positive from Hibs.
Opportunity for Hibs for the throw. Jordan Obita drawing the ball on his jersey. Now it's firmly in his hands, right against the advertising board. It's 0-0 so far. Long throw into the box, drops down to McGrath, takes a touch. He's got two Celtic players around him, so he puts it back outside the box to Obita. Round on to Cadden. Cadden, first time ball into the middle. Solid header away by Hitati. Shaiwa will gather, he has to flick the ball away from Maida and gets it back on to Chris Cadden, back to Shaiwa and all the way back to his goalkeeper. Has a little look as the ball runs across the right hand side. He launches it long, trying to see if he can catch out the Celtic defence. Trusty gets the initial header away. Hibs will gather though. Bowie comes and gathers, right one challenge, clips the ball behind Chris Cadden though, and Yang brings it under control. The calming presence of Callum McGregor onto the halfway line. Marcello Saracchi back on to Reo Hitati, and Hitati takes a touch. And back to Scales. Celtic trying to build from the back once more. John, what have you made of Kieran Bowie and his positioning?
I just think too often, I said it before the game, he's wrestling with central defenders instead of coming off them. I always tell Paul with opposite movement. If you want the ball to feet, go the opposite, take the defender away and check off him. So when you get the ball, you're not getting bumped. He's got to get better at that. He's young. It's a simple manoeuvre to create space for yourself. But this season, for me, he just seems to be wrestling constantly.
I think early on in the season, because it was such a that was much of the chat, wasn't it, how well he was taking the ball and linking the game. But it's hard enough sometimes when the quality isn't good coming up to you to take the ball in, especially against aggressive centre halves. It's even harder when you're doing it while you're getting wrestled. So it's a good point that John makes. You can still drop off 2 yards and it's then easier to then take the ball in. But when you're doing it and you're getting bumped and pushed, it just takes one movement to knock you off your balance and the ball's away. And you've seen it on several occasions so far in this game.
0-0. Hibs and Celtic live on BBC Radio Scotland. Still to come. Rangers against Falkirk from Ibrox at 2. I'll bring you all the updates from Livingston against Aberdeen. Rangers Falkirk. Falkirk haven't won there, I think, since 1925 in the league, so it would be a nice time for them to try and do that today. Rangers will have other ideas. Scales plays the ball back inside to McGregor. McGregor across onto Trusty. All outfield players inside the Hibs half. That hasn't happened too often so far. Now push forward. McGowan into Engels, tried to return it. Obita got the block. Forward onto Shaiwa, and rather linking with Bowie, overhits the pass, comes inside. Scales gathers onto Arnie Engels. Engels drops the ball round the corner. Shaiwa blocked him off, but the ball had come to Hitati, so the referee allowed play to continue, and Hitati overhits Luke McGowan. You can understand why the referee wanted to keep the play going, but he's now warning Shaiwa. But Hibs got away with that.
Yeah, they did again. A little bit loose with the ball, both sides. In fact, moments, passes they should make, just not taking that extra bit of care.
The voice of Scott Allen here on BBC Radio Scotland. Also alongside me is John Collins. What will David Gray be thinking at the moment, John? Has his side gone slightly off the boil?
Yeah, well, I think he'll be very happy the way they've started the game. They've made the pitch big, they've passed the ball, they've made Celtic work. They haven't recently, the last 5 minutes, given away possession too easily, but they've started the game well. And again, they've had more strikes on target. They've looked a likelier team in the final third. But they need a goal, don't you? When you're playing well and you're the dominant team, you want that goal.
Yeah, I think one thing that David Gray will understand, that he's not going to expect his team to have total control throughout the game. There's going to be spells where you're in control as well. You can then take the chances that you create within that. Oh,
Salinger's given the ball away to Tati. Chance! Maida scores! Well, Salinger played it out to Shaiwa, couldn't quite believe that Tati nipped in, and he just rolled the ball to Dazan Maida, who tucked it into the back of the net. The very definition of shooting yourself in the foot. Hibs 0, Celtic 1.
I mean, from Celtic's point of view, it's a great goal, pressing high up the pitch. From Hibs' point of view, it's just a sloppy pass. Was it a poor pass from the goalkeeper, or should Shaiwa have done better with it?
Well, I think when you see these sort of goals conceded throughout football, it becomes guys not being on the same wavelength. Salinger wants to pass. Shaiwa isn't necessarily shown for the ball, but he should be shown for the ball. and if he understands it's a poor pass, he then has to forget about the ball and get his body in the way of the oncoming Yang. Was it Yang that intercepted the pass? Hatate. And Hatate has that presence of mind when he's in that position to lift his head and find his teammate Maeda, who slots away. So a good goal from a Celtic point of view, but very, very avoidable from Hibs.
It's an 8th goal against Hibernian for Nazarmani. He scored against Hibs more than any other club scored on his debut and on his 150th start for Celtic. He's on the score sheet again, and Hibs, well, self-inflicted problems. Schmeichel plays the ball forward onto Scales. Itati gathers, lovely ball on to Sarachi. Now he's moving forward over the halfway line. He comes. Celtic leading by 1-0 at Easter Road. Out wide onto Yang. Yang gathers at the edge of the box, left hand side. Great little ball in! Arnie Engels took a boot in the face as he got the ball into the back of the net. And the referee will book the Hibernian player, but the goal will count. Hibs 0, Celtic 2, Arnie Engels.
Tremendous goal from Celtic's point of view. Great play down here on the left hand side. Sarachi driving 40 yards with the ball, plays it wide to Yang. Yang, terrific ball in the box. Engels, what do you want your midfielders arriving in the box on the move, hard to pick up, banged it in with his head. From Celtic's point of view, total football, excellent goal.
Hatate again in that deep position though, John. Most players just take the safe pass. He plays a wee disguise outside of the boot that sets Sarachi away. And I'll follow up with John. Once it goes to Yang, he doesn't slow the pace down, he takes it in his stride, couple of jinks, and then puts a ball in. Engels attacking the ball, fantastic goal. But from a Hibs point of view, you go a goal down, you have to regroup, you have to keep the distances tight. Celtic are going to have their tails up, you have to ride it for a wee bit. Really poor again from Hibs, and David Gray will be looking at his team, because they started the game really well and all of a sudden you're 2-0 down to the quality of Celtic. Celtic punishing you with these sort of players that they have in the final third.
Arnie Engels remains down. McGrath was booked for the challenge. I was just about to ask you, Scott, when you've played so well and you find yourself 1 down, how do you react? And I couldn't even get the chance to ask because they've conceded again.
I know, listen, it's really disappointing from Hibs' perspective. I looked at it when the ball went to Sarachi, and I was going to I felt they'd probably defend it and then let the chance go by and say, listen, this is a moment in the game where Hibs have to regroup and make sure that they're all connected. They lose a goal, there's no connection throughout the park between the different defence, midfield strikers. They're all pressing in 1s and 2s, and Celtic just exploited it. But at the same time, you have to praise the quality, because it starts with Hatate, as I said, that disguise outside of the boot. And that's why for me, listen, I think he's a fantastic football player. Yes, he gives the ball away at times, trying things, but he has that real bit of finesse in areas where it really matters, and Celtic punish Hibs for that poor defending.
It was a terrific goal from Celtic's point of view. Sarachi, you've got to give him tremendous credit. When he initially picked it up, he was looking to play a diagonal, his head was up, he was thinking do a switch to play, but he says, I'm just going to keep driving, kept driving, played the pass at the right time for Yang, and Yang, like he did in midweek, he was really positive. His first thought was touch, whip it in, bang. And when it's that quick, it's hard for defenders to get set up, because he does it so quick, and Engels is arriving in the box, so it's a difficult one for the Hibs back four to defend against.
Yeah, well, I think it was Cad and Hohora who were the closest to him at the time. When it gets played into him, takes the first touch forward, and then just a couple of jinks with your shoulder, it just offsets the defender and allows you that little yard of space to deliver the cross, and he delivers a fantastic ball, and Engels with another goal, fantastic header.
So Arnie Engels getting on the score sheet for the second time this season. The first as a starting player, his only goal came off the bench against Kilmarnock, as Hibs have it all to do now. Hibs 0, Celtic 2, if you're just joining us here on BBC Radio Scotland. 31 minutes gone, and I stress Hibs have played well. Now the ball comes forward, little touch by Bowie onto Mulligan. Hibs have to dig deep now, character required.
This is when you've got to be brave. Everybody keep wanting the ball, keep doing the right things, keep trying to feed Nicky Carden out in the wide area, because you know 9 out of 10 times he'll deliver, and just as I say that, he doesn't deliver.
Just wondering, guys, if you'd ever scored a goal and got wiped out in the process, what's better, the joy of scoring or the pain of the injury?
No, I didn't score enough goals for that.
you'll take a bit of pain for a goal all
Absolutely.
day long. All day long.
There's nothing quite like the ball hitting the back of the net. Here's Kasper Schmeichel. Two Hibs players inside the area. Schmeichel plays it across onto Liam Scales. Celtic leading by 2-0.
That's the importance of a goalkeeper who's calm in possession. Look at Celtic. They're coming to press him. Hibs a really high press. They're getting close to him. His heart rate's still down. He's still calm. Sucks the players in and delivers out.
But I think the key difference there, though, for me is what Celtic are doing when Schmeichel on the ball is deliberate. When Salinger landed on the ball and they then went on to concede the first goal, it's not deliberate. So it's not. Yeah. It's do you want it, do you not want it, instead of it being you're taking the ball, and that is the big difference here.
Yeah, you're right. Celtic play all the time from the back. Hibs, it's sometimes they mix it up, sometimes they pass it. So from a midfielder's point of view, is he going to clip it long?
It's the indecision, is it?
Yeah.
Celtic leading by 2-0. Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Here's McGregor on to Sirachi. Celtic are purring their way now forward. Sirachi plays the ball forward on the angle of Bitas to turn play away straight on to Arnie Engels, who's back on and looks okay once more. Here's Nicky Cadden, wins it, sends it down to Kieran Bowie. Bowie takes a touch on the halfway line, gathers, has to come back. Shiwa waits for it, clips it out to Obita and back on the inside. There's a different feel even from here about Celtic at the moment. They are now hunting this Hibs team.
Well, all of a sudden there's a sharpness in it. There's another gear. They've moved up to the press and even faster now.
I like that from Salinger, though. He popped it in there to Chaiwa and they got out the other side.
Well, just make sure that he's happy that he can play that ball and has trust in the midfielder. Hibs come forward, bounce the ball off Donovan, out of goes on that far side. It's going to be a throw to Hibs by the corner flag. Hibs look a little shell-shocked. They have to find a way back into this one. They'd love to do it before half-time and get on the score sheet, but they trail by 2-0. Here's Obita again with that long throw into the area. McGrath goes up, tries to, and it does win the first header. Bashiri tried to swipe at the ball, goes high in there. Boyle chases it outside the box. He says he was bounced over. Sirachi actually stopped because he thought the free kick was coming, and now's the ball at his feet. He can launch it long angle ball, almost picked out McCowan on that far side. Good tracking back by Nicky Cowan on Obita, back to his goalkeeper.
Really good tracking back by Nicky Cowan. Excellent work for his teammates there.
Sirachi's been dying to play that ball, hasn't he, for the last 2 minutes?
Bowie up against Trusty pulling at the Hibs striker, and it's going to be a free kick just inside the Hibernian half. It's not a ground that Celtic have done particularly well on. They've just won 5 of the last 18 league visits here. Wow. And it's certainly one of the grounds that they team to surrender more points than anywhere else. That looked like a late challenge by Shiwa on Donovan, and the card will come out from Nick Walsh. Easy call for the referee.
I thought he should have played advantage from Celtic point of view.
Certainly a yellow, and no dispute coming from the Hibernian players. So Colby Donovan, the other player on a yellow card.
Didn't have to make the challenge, the ball was already away. It's that kid on one, isn't it? You look as if you're being aggressive, but it was silly more than anything.
Didn't need to do that. Scott Allen alongside me says, here come Hibs trying to come forward. Passes a little bit long. Schmeichel does the little backtracking into his own area, gathers the ball and plays it out wide to Marcello Sirachi, out for the last 2. Played himself back into this one, looked a little bit rusty early. And Hibs have a man down. It's Cadden on that far side, and if Hibs' day could get any worse, it would be Nicky Cadden being injured.
He's had his injury problems, hasn't he, this season? Doesn't look good for Hibs.
No,
he is their main outlet. Talking in terms of balls in the box, the options on the bench. Yuan.
Well, Ellie Ewan's actually got a pretty decent record against Celtic, but Nicky Cadden, who missed the first 5 games of the season, has now started, I think it's 8 of the last 9, and he's back on his feet. We'll see if he's able to continue. But certainly, John, I mean, Hibs don't want to lose him. I mean, Ellie Ewan's a decent replacement.
Well,
but he's gone.
From a striker's point of view, 2 completely different players. Ewan checks back, and centre forwards don't know when's the ball coming in the box. Whereas with Nicky Cadden, centre forward, and opposite winger on the other side, know exactly what's going to happen. Lifts his head, delivers into the area so you can make your run.
Ellie Ewan is definitely the expect unexpected sort of player when he's on the ball, and he does have moments of real quality. I just wonder if he was to go off.
He does bring lots of pace and energy, that's for sure.
Does he change shape at half time, go back to his free, push Obita out to wing back, played there in the European games?
Well, there's plenty of food for thought. But Hibs obviously haven't got the sub ready yet. Nicky Cadden is done. He's off the field on that far side. The motion indicated that he will not take any further part in this game.
He's walking like he's okay.
Yeah, doesn't
Hamstring injuries he's had.
Is that what you...
I think once you have, I can't say I had any kind of soft tissue injuries when I played of that extreme, but I think if you, there you go, he's going to go to 3, isn't he?
Yeah. Jack Iredale's got the wrong jersey on. He's listed.
He's got Bal Lazar's on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the wrong jersey.
That'll be a first.
Quite where that's come from. He's wearing 27. Hibs don't have a 27.
He's got Megwas.
He's got Megwas jersey.
He's put that behind his seat, isn't he? In the bit. Oh, brilliant from Hattati again.
He got wiped out as he played the ball forward. Here's Sirachi. Comes out wide. Yang coming across the edge of the penalty box, tries to work it with Maida, and it's knocked away by Bushiri, and it comes on to Trusty. Trusty plays the ball round the corner, and then Celtic again take a breath. They lead here by 2-0. Hattati's limping slightly down below us. Celtic coming from right to left in all green. Hibs in the green jersey with the white sleeves, white shorts, green socks topped off with white.
It's difficult for Hibs now. Celtic 2-0 up. They're so good in possession of the ball.
Oh, it's given away there though. Shiver tries to come through, and it's well rescued by Donovan. Donovan plays the ball out wide. There's McCowan getting involved. Now it's transferred across with a late challenge, and Obita was just a little bit late on that far side, and it's the opportunity for Celtic to clear their lines. I'm still looking at Jack Iredale. I can't believe that he's put on the wrong jersey. I think he's now realised, because I think Luke McCowan's told him.
Is that the fourth? Yeah, the fourth official's meant to check that.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, you can't mistake Megwa.
Yeah, he's noticed, hasn't he? Look.
I think I've got the wrong one on. The ball gets played back by Bushiri onto Salinger. Not much to smile about for Hibs at the moment. They trail by 2-0. And now we've got Jersey Gate going on as well. Lovely ball played forward by Mulligan, who's drifted out in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Out wide to Cadden. Cadden trying to advance forward. And who comes to make the challenge? Doesn't Maida into the corner flag to make that challenge?
That's what he's done. That's what he always does, isn't it? Maida, work ethic.
So Jack Iredale, who's had enough of being young Kaneo Megwa, is now back to being Jack Iredale. It's indicating that all is good now. Throw-in will come from this right hand side, down by the corner flag. Hibs trying to find a way back. 40 minutes on the clock at Easter Road. A long throw-in. Hibs win the first contact. The second contact though by Bushiri is almost accidental, and it comes back onto Schmeichel, who picks something up and throws it behind his goal. Celtic look very, very comfortable at the moment, Scott.
Yeah, they do. What's working for them is down this left-hand side. The triangles between Scales, Sirachi, McGregor. Even Hattati sometimes drops in deep and then plays that one round the corner for Sirachi, who's gambled and gone. Hibs haven't quite managed to figure that one out yet, but from a Hibs point of view, you have to try and re-energise. There you go, you see that pass again. It's happened time and time again.
Sirachi to Maida flicks the ball behind himself, wins it beautifully, and then flicks it on to Donovan on the halfway line. Donovan, that's McCowan out wide. McCowan strokes the ball back onto McGregor. Celtic certainly took that early Hibs pressure. Hibs with 5 efforts towards goal, but it's Celtic who now lead by 2-0 and look very, very comfortable and confident. Now lead off by Engels, trying to find Yang. A little pull by Warnahora on the back, but the referee decided there wasn't enough pressure, and now Obita over the halfway line. McCowan tracking him back, turns, plays it back onto Jack Iredale. Iredale up on the halfway line, clips it with a cross, trying to find Boyle, but it's easily swallowed up by Trusty. Hibs will gather again on halfway, and now Iredale will gather. Out wide it comes onto Cadden. Cadden back on the inside and played all the way across. Obita has gone up one to play the Cadden role. Iredale has come in at left fullback. I'm like you, Scott, I'm wondering if they'll switch to the 3 perhaps at half time.
It's what Dave's most comfortable with. They've had their best results with that shape. Maybe look at it at half time. There's just been since obviously Celtic have now got control of the game, when Hibs are getting into that final third, there's just a lack of imagination. Take obviously Nicky Cadden out of that. who's literally throwing the ball into the box for your strikers. They're going to have to come up with something else, combinations around about the edge of the box and try and get shots on goal.
Here's Engels for Celtic on the halfway line. Celtic leaded by 2-0. As the Celtic fans find their voice really for the first time this afternoon in terms of the singing. Ball comes out wide. Colby Donovan, halfway line, throws the ball back to Austin Trusty. Trusty will gather, push it back onto Donovan. McGregor calls for it, but it'll come back to Liam Scales. Scales pushes it forward onto Engels. Lovely touch by Engels. Mulligan tries to come back to block the run. Out wide it comes on to Sarachi. Sarachi up to the edge of the box. Nazem Maida pursued by Rocky Bushiri. Ball pulled back to Yang, left hand side. Out wide, now pulled across to McGregor. McGregor through the middle onto Colby Donovan. Donovan gets it to Atati. Celtic looking very, very comfortable. Donovan plays the ball back. Now clipped forward towards Arnie Engels. He lays it off to Callum McGregor. McGregor plays it out wide to Maida. Maida's taking the touch. There's the back heel. Sarachi hits the post.
Standing goal.
Wow. Brilliant move from Celtic, but it rattles the frame and goes behind.
Best move of the game by a long, long way. Maybe the best move of the season for Celtic. 1 and 2 touch football all over the pitch. I love a little bit of play there. Edge of the box, back heel. Yang striking a post. Good football and really difficult for Hibs to defend against it.
Yeah, and it's just that patience. Obviously Celtic now have the 2-goal lead. They don't have to force anything. They're just working you side to side. Distance is too big for the Hibs players and they're just ticking them off at ease now. The Celtic players look that are really enjoying this now after an uncomfortable start. Hibs just can't get to grips with it.
Yeah, they're struggling at the moment. They'll get a free kick there. There's Yang, nutmeg there by Mulligan, but he wasn't letting the player pass. And the opportunity now for Hibs to play the ball forward. So Marcello Sarachi has never scored for Celtic. This is his 10th appearance, rattled the post. That really could have been game over for Hibs.
It's really hard when Celtic find this sort of rhythm to then change the game in your favour. These moments, set pieces, they could be integral for getting back into the game. But in general play, Celtic just look so comfortable.
Here's the opportunity then from this set play. Everybody tilted to the left hand side. McGrath lifts the ball out wide. Initial header won by Hibs, but it's going to bounce down and into the arms of the goalkeeper. Bowie got up well to win the header, John Collins, but nothing really followed.
Again, we just need better quality. If it's a bit high and float it to the back post, coming to nothing. It's a real challenge for Hibs now. How are they going to get back into the game? Are they going to change their system, personnel? Because at this moment in time, Celtic are in full control, making the pitch big as they always do. Look at the white. It's such a big pitch here at Easter Road as well.
Here comes Scales. Celtic leading by 2-0. 3 additional minutes will be played as Hibs try to come forward. Don't get the bounce of the ball. And Celtic mop up and play the ball back onto Kasper Schmeichel. Schmeichel sends it up to the halfway line. Ahura wins the header. Heads it out wide looking for Boyle. There's confirmation of the 3 minutes from Ewan Anderson. Ball runs out of play on the halfway line. Can a few yards further back takes the throw onto Ahura. Back onto Bushiri. Ardale is available. That's where it goes. Midway inside his own half. Turns away from Luke McCowan. Plays it back to his goalkeeper. Salinger, clean sheet at Celtic Park in the 0-0, but found himself beaten twice so far this afternoon. Maida, a little bit high boot as Bushiri's head came down. Bushiri is furious at Obita. And there's just 1 or 2 arguments starting to develop.
Yeah, I don't know what he was shouting there at Bushiri. Did you see that, Scott?
Yeah, I seen it.
Why? Why was he shouting?
I'm not quite sure. I just feel, listen, I don't mind it. You're obviously suffering within the game.
Just looked a little bit frustrated more than anything else. I didn't think Obita did anything wrong at that point, but hey,
Hibs have to try and find some sort of invention from somewhere, whether that's from the bench in the second half or tactically, as John said, that David will maybe look at, because the way this game's going, Celtic are so comfortable. You can see they're all wanting the ball, they're all taking it in areas of the park, they're popping off 1 and 2 touch at times, and Hibs just really struggling to get to grips with it. I genuinely feel that a long throw or a set piece will be Hibs' main route back into the game, but it's got to be more than that, especially the home team. Hibs over the years have caused Celtic problems here. It's once the goal went in, it's sucked the energy out of this Hibs side.
It just looks like they've lost the belief. They're playing, but they're not believing they're going to create a chance.
It's more hopeful than anything.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
yeah, well, when you transition belief into hope, it certainly affects the play. And at the moment, The Hibs players look like they just want to hear that half-time whistle and get themselves inside. Here's Trusty, plays the ball all the way back. I was going to say to his goalkeeper, he would play it to Liam Scales. Scales now lifts it forward to Tati. Mulligan came forward to press. Tati found space, lifts it out wide onto Yang, outside the box, left-hand side, attacking Cadden. Yang twisting, going for the byline. Cadden, good block. Celtic will have a corner in the closing moments of additional time here at Easter Road. Hibernian 0, Celtic 2 the scoreline.
Good defending there from Chris Cadden, not easy. Yang's driving him, little scissors movement. He's kept his eye on the ball and prevented the cross getting in the box, because there was Celtic players in the box. If that came in, that would have been a dangerous situation.
And Engels in no great hurry. 30 seconds of the recommended 3 of the additional time to be played, and Engels gets himself set from this left-hand side as we watch down to the left. Salinger stands on his line. Celtic with 4 inside the 6-yard area. Engels raises his hand, takes that step forward, and it goes. Solid header away from Bowie. Players going all over the place. Bushiri knocked over by Liam Scales, and that's probably going to be the last action of this first half at Easter Road. Salinger steps back and he'll take a little touch. Opportunity now to get the ball forward, but all the players tilting to this right-hand side. David Gray's already gone down the tunnel. Well, it started so brightly for Hibs. They had some early chances, but it's Celtic who took the advantage when it came. Sloppy play from the back from Hibs presented the first chance for Dasim Maida to score after 27 minutes, and barely a minute later Yang crossed. Engels with a brave header. He got hurt in the process, but the ball ended up in the back of the net. That's why at half-time at Easter Road it's Hibernian 0, Celtic 2.
This
is Sports Sound
from BBC Radio Scotland.
Join me, Laura McKeever.
And me, Martin Geisler, for our brand new breakfast news show.
Radio Scotland Breakfast.
We'll bring you the stories that matter from across Scotland, the UK and around the world.
We'll ask the tough questions and get answers from the people in power.
Plus sport, entertainment, weather and great conversation to start your day.
Join Martin Geisler and Laura McKeever for Radio Scotland Breakfast.
Listen tomorrow morning from 6 on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
This is Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon. A 5th goal of the season from Dasim Maida, seconds for Arnie Engels, and it's Celtic who lead by 2-0 at half-time in the capital against Hibernian. You'll see the highlights of that on Sports Scene tonight, along with the 2 other matches from today. Rangers against Falkirk, which kicks off at 2. Livingston against Aberdeen at 3. There'll be the best of the action from the 3 matches from yesterday as well. And of course also the draw for the 4th round of this season's Scottish Cup, and that's Sports Scene 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel. The Premiership sides, of course, entering the fray at the 4th round. You'll find out if your team is still involved, who they will be taking on when the action resumes in the National Knockout competition. Monday to Friday, Scottish Football Daily podcast. Wherever you pick up your podcast, you can subscribe there. And there is live football action on Wednesday night. Sports Sound will be on between 6 p.m. and 11 o'clock. 5 top flight matches there. Celtic Dundee, Dundee United Rangers, Hearts against Kilmarnock, Aberdeen St Mirren and Falkirk Motherwell. With the highlights later that evening, 10:40 on BBC One Scotland. And a very important date for your diary next Friday evening. Sports Scene on at 7:10. With not only live championship action, Morton against Queen's Park, but the draw for the group stages of next summer's World Cup finals. There are, of course, still playoffs to be resolved, but if we don't get a full picture, we'll get at least a partial picture, dates and venues as to who Scotland will be taking on next summer in the Americas. So do look out for that. The World Cup draw live on Sports Scene next Friday night at 7:10. We'll get to Ibrox shortly. We'll get the team news from there ahead of Rangers against Livingston. Full live commentary of that one to come. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff, 3 o'clock at Amon Vale, and we'll have updates, regular updates throughout from that one as Livingston take on Aberdeen. So let's reflect on the first 45 minutes. Fair to say, John Collins, it's a game that swung in the space of but would you believe it, 33 seconds between those two goals for Celtic, Maeda and Engels, and they have absolutely dominated since, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I think the first 20 minutes Hibs played very well, probably the better team first 20 minutes, playing good football, getting the ball wide, deliveries into the box, pressing Celtic, and then all of a sudden Celtic got quality. All of a sudden they get a goal just from pressing. Hibs goalkeeper, was it a poor pass out to Chewo? I think it might have been a little bit bobbly. Chewo's got to deal with it better, but Celtic on their toes, pressing again, a simple goal, and the second goal was just sublime a minute later. Celtic working it all the way from their own left back area all the way up the pitch, cutting Hibs open, and from that minute on, as you said, Celtic just, they moved up a gear. Their touch was good, their passing was sharp, making the pitch big. Really difficult for Hibs to get back into the game. It's a difficult team talk for David Gray at half time. What is he going to do? Change his system, change personnel? At this moment in time, you don't see Hibs coming back, but 2-0 is a dangerous score. A goal from set piece, 2-1, and all of a sudden it can change the atmosphere in the stadium, but Celtic in control.
Very much so. It is 2, it might have been 3. There was one excellent move late in the half, which ended with a Maeda back heel and Sirachi striking it against the left post, and that move kind of summed up in particular the final 20 minutes of the half, Scott, didn't it, in terms of how Celtic were playing?
Yeah, I agree with John. It was just full control after the first goal, to be honest. Hibs just didn't regroup quick enough to then lose the second goal. From a Celtic perspective, they're really good goals, the pressure's good, and then they have the quality in the moments to then take the lead. For me, after that move you spoke about, there was just so much to like about it. The patience in the move. Engels had a real keeper, had a lovely outside of the boot touch back into midfield. I think it was Callum McGregor who then fired the ball into Yank, perfect weight, and then Maeda to have that presence of mind to see Sirachi on coming, and obviously goes hits the post and goes wide. But for me, Hibs really have to do more, I think. That, and listen, I'm conscious of Celtic have played their part in that. They then make the pitch big, they move the ball well, they're patient, so the pressure then becomes harder as a group. Hibs lost all, they were connected early on in the game, that's why they had moments for putting balls in the box, they had chances, didn't take their chances when they did have the balance of play. Then when Celtic get full control, it becomes difficult because the players are in a rhythm, and once you get their players and quality players within that, especially within that midfield, once they're in that rhythm, it's very hard to stop them. So David Gray's going to have to come up with something, whether that's going back to a free, maybe going a bit more direct, because they have tried to play, but it's all well and good trying to play, but if it's not incisive, if it's not crisp, that's why they lose the first goal, because it's probably something that they hadn't worked on deliberately. I'm looking at Salinger. I think he played it to the wrong side of Chaiwa.
I just saw a replay of it, Scott. I mean, it's a crazy pass out. I mean, whether he's hit it accurately or not, Chaiwa is under pressure from Hatate. He can, surely the goalkeeper can see that, and yet he passes it straight to him. Yeah. Well, or in his direction. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. It didn't look like it, because Chaiwa's right-footed, so if you were playing it and he was under pressure, it would be to the safe side. It looks like it's played to the side where he's obviously taking the pressure from, and then he's dispossessed, and then it's up to Hatate then to lift his head and find his teammates, which he then duly does, and Celtic go a goal up. But for Hibs, yes, you can have a good start. They're 2 goals down, and Celtic are in full control of this game, and it would be very hard to stop Celtic in this sort of rhythm. Set pieces, the long throw, which Hibs obviously have at their disposal, might find you a route back into the game. 2-0 Celtic, you would expect Celtic to go on and win this game.
It's such a dilemma for Hibs now.
Yeah.
I mean, Celtic are so good in possession, so they're going to build from the back, they're going to suck. Hibs are going to go, we're asking to go and press, and then what if Celtic got to the top of the pitch? You've got a flying machine, Maeda, so if the Hibs back 4 are up there, one ball over the top, so there's that edginess to the Hibs, certainly the 2 centre halves, when you've got pace like that at the top of the pitch. So it's a tough one for the manager. Will he change his system, personnel? Will he bring Johan on, maybe bring more pace in the wide areas?
Need imagination, don't they, in the final third? As much as we were speaking about Nicky Cadden ahead of the game, and that quality has with his left foot, you have to have more than that if you want to go and win games of football, especially against a team like Celtic. You have to have more than that, because teams now can set up to then counter that and make it difficult. If you can't just rely solely on one source of creativity, and that's what it looks like. That's what it looked like from this Hibs performance first half. Celtic, on the other hand, they've got creativity coming from all different routes within the game. Hatate, for me, he's finding pockets, and he's really hurt that Hibs midfield. They don't know whether to jump with him or leave him on the ball. And you leave him on the ball, and then he can keep his head up and find runners in behind, which he's had in Yang and Maeda. And McKeown's looking to pick up pockets out in that right position as well, which also causes problems. So Hibs, for me, they have to have more options in terms of finding a route back into this game.
Yeah, and even when Hibs were enjoying a better spell in the game, Celtic were, I mean, that midfield was so evident for Celtic, wasn't it, Scott? I mean, Hatate, that delightful little chip over the top for McKeown to get in behind. There was the two of them then linked up for a Celtic goal. They might have scored that was offside, but there were a number of moments there where Celtic were giving warning as to what was to come. Yeah,
they were, and when Hibs did have their chances, they weren't able to take them or make more of them. I just feel you're now seeing this Celtics team start to find its stride again. I think Thursday night, I think the confidence they've took from that, you've seen that, especially in the attacking areas. Maeda, Hatate, McGregor, who were three of Celtic's best players last year and haven't quite hit the heights of last season yet, they're starting to get back into the real swing of things and showing real quality within this game. Engels as well, who's come under a bit of criticism from the Celtic support, he's having impacts in the game. He might not be as finessed on the ball as a Hatate or a Callum McGregor, but what he does do, he's getting into the box. That's his attribute, getting into the box and getting on the end of crosses and scoring goals, and he's done that today.
Yeah, he was brave. He got Jamie McGrath obviously trying to clear the ball, did catch him in the head, but he recovered and was able to celebrate belatedly that second goal. Maeda and Engels, then Celtic 2-0 up. Live second half commentary to come. Let's go across to Ibrox. It's a 2 o'clock start there. I think we're still waiting for the Falkirk team news, but the Rangers team news is out. Our commentator is Al Lamont.
Hi Rich, yeah, in fact that's Falkirk just dropped, so I'll be able to give you that in some shape or form. But Rangers make 4 changes from Thursday, with Oscar Antman Bayrami coming in for a first start since he started against Aberdeen back in May, and Majowski also back in the starting lineup. Danilo, Diamonde, Gassama and Chermiti out, so it's Butland, Tavernier, Giga, Fernandez, Aarons, Barron and Raskan, Antman, Oscar, Bayrami and Majowski up front. Falkirk not been obviously a chance to go through any changes or anything, but clearly Bain is in goal. I'm not even going to try and put this information because it's just given a numerical order, so it's Adams, Henderson, Graham, Spencer, Allen, Tate, Wilson, Williams, Lisa and Miller. I think that's the same team off the top of my head that started at Tannadice. It'll be the 4-2-3-1 as usual. Tune in later and I'll put that in a better shape for you.
Of course. Al, thank you very much indeed for that. Al's going to be joined by Stephen Thompson and Stephen Cragen for that one. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off, full live commentary, and of course we'll be at Ammanvale as well for the 3 o'clock start. We'll keep you right up to date on everything that happens between Livingston and Aberdeen, and also in that final hour of the programme we'll bring you the reaction both from this game at Easter Road and indeed from that one at Ibrox. So plenty of time to wrap things up in terms of everything that's been happening over the course of the weekend, and of course still so much to unfold. Hibernian desperately need to get a grip in this game. They desperately need to turn things around, otherwise you feel it is going to be another win for Martin O'Neill and Celtic. Won the last 3 league games, remember, without conceding a goal since the veteran took over as interim manager. And as things stand, the live table shows them just 2 points behind Heart of Midlothian, still with a game in hand. There is midweek action, of course, and both the top 2 will be in action then. Celtic at home to Dundee, Hearts at home to Kilmarnock. There's also Dundee United Rangers, Aberdeen St Mirren and Falkirk Motherwell Sportsound on air on Wednesday from 6 p.m. for a 5-hour marathon, and lots to keep the whole team busy then. Much to come still this afternoon, and it is going to be fascinating, John, isn't it, to see how Hibernian approach this second half. The onus is on them, isn't it?
No, it is. The manager's got a decision to make. I don't think you'll be able to press Celtic with the 2 up front. I would go 3 up front. I'd go Boyle wide on Sarachi. Sarachi's not got a lot of pace, but he's getting forward. And if he's got Boyle there, he might think twice about going forward. And if the midfielders get the ball and Boyle's hugging the touchline, a little pass in behind Sarachi and he'll run away. Maybe Johan on the other side brings more pace again. it's much easier to press with 3 than with 2. And Celtic, they've got the back 4 with the goalkeeper. They're such a hard team to press. And that's the challenge. They'll just keep the ball the whole second half if Hibs don't change their system, I don't think.
I think if you're Hibs and you're looking at the ways where you caused Celtic a little bit of problems early on in the game, was forcing Celtic into these straight passes into the middle of the park, and the distances between defence, midfield and attack being closer together where you can do that and then land on the ball. As the game went on, they didn't lay a glove on Celtic. Whether that's confidence is a little bit low obviously after the defeat the other night, and I did touch on the impact losing a game of football. You can lose a game of football 2-0 and be in the game. You can lose a game of football where you don't see the ball. That's the way it was on Tuesday night. Today they've started really well. They haven't managed to get their nose in front. They've lost 2 good goals from a Celtic point of view, and Celtic just moving the ball really well. So can they force Celtic to playing these straight ones into midfield? Mulligan, good aggression in his game. McGrath can jump on the next one, but you need Rocky Bashiri and O'Hara squeezing that line as we spoke about, because at times Celtic, Maeda, they all do come to the ball, but you have to find a way to force them into playing the passes you want to do, and that comes to how David Gray sets up his team to press Celtic in this second half. So it'll be really interesting to see what he does, because if he doesn't change it, for me this game's only going to end one way, and that's with a Celtic win.
Yeah, look, as John Collins said earlier, at 2-0, if you get the next goal and you're the team who's behind, if you get the next goal, it does potentially change the whole focus of the game. But of course, you'd rather be 2-0 up than you'd rather be 2-0 up than 2-0 behind, wouldn't you? I kind of feel that Celtic might be approaching this half slightly more confident frame of mind than Hibernian are. Can the home side turn it round? So will it be another league win for Martin O'Neill as Celtic manager? We've got live commentary to come from Ibrox later, Rangers Falkirk, and updates from Livingston Aberdeen. But right now, live second half from Easter Road, Hibernian Celtic, Scott Allen, John Collins and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. I was having a little look at half-time at age. So the oldest coach in the NFL is Pete Carroll at 74. The oldest coach in Major League Baseball is Dusty Baker at 74. And the oldest coach in British football is Martin O'Neill. It's 73. Just because you're in your 70s, John, doesn't matter. You can still keep on going.
Right, Martin's proving it, that's for sure. Still going strong, still getting the results.
Does it help if you've got some good players?
Certainly does.
Yeah, that's probably got something to do with it. Underway at Easter Road, Anthony Ralston is on at half-time for Colby Donovan, and defying tradition, he's decided to wear his own jersey. He's wearing 56. Abita plays the ball into the middle, drops down. Arnie Engels inside his own box, gets the ball away on as far as Miguel Shawa. Shawa gets it off to Mulligan. Hibs need a really good positive start to the second half. Out wide onto Cadden. Cadden against Yang. Yang does well down by the corner flag and knocks it off Cadden, and it is going to be a throw-in to Celtic on that far side. So Colby Donovan off Tony Ralston on, so it's Ralston, Trusty, Scales, Sorachi, Engels, McGregor, Hitati, McCowan, Maeda and Yang. Kasper Schmeichel being the goalkeeper.
One thing Martin O'Neill's done really well since he's taken over as interim, he's used his squad. He's used his squad really well, and that always helps for the harmony, and the team guys have all had opportunity. I think that's one thing he deserves huge credit for.
Celtic gather and then lose out through Hitati. Yeah, Celtic players certainly seem to be enjoying playing for him, no doubt about that. Here's Jack Ardale, change for Nicky Cadden, and enforced on Cadden was injured during that first half. Celtic leading here by 2-0. People still streaming back into their seats here at Easter Road where the sun has come out. It is a beautiful day now, and Hibs looking to cheer up their fans, some of whom are in sunshine, some of whom are in shade, by trying to find a way to get back on the score sheet. Just having a little look to see if Hibs have changed anything in terms of their shape. It certainly looks like Ardale still at left fullback. It's a back four for Hibernian at the moment with Ardale, Bushiri, O'Hara and Cadden. That from left to right. It's Shiwa McGrath.
They can't get any pressure on Scales there, can they? It's just easy for them to just work the ball out to Sirachi. Celtic now have control again.
Boyle up front with Kieran Bowie, McGuire behind them. But Celtic at the moment, they look like a different team to the start of the game. They look like they know they've got this one won, and they look very, very comfortable.
Goals bring his confidence. makes such a difference. First 20 minutes they weren't too confident, but all of a sudden they get the goal and it's just confidence is easing. Every player wants the ball, everybody looks sharper, touch gets better.
Oh, good play.
Sriracha inside to Hitati, Celtic moving forward from left to right in all green. Now the long ball on the angle that McCowan tries to keep that in, couldn't do so, and it just runs out of play. But again, there was nobody in there. Jack Ardale had gone all the way inside. If he controlled that, was big trouble.
And it was a tremendous ball. I think McCowan should have played that first time with his right foot. What about you, Scott?
You're right. I've said this over the course of the last month, the amount of games I've been at where players can use the weaker foot. It's the right option. It gives you a better angle on the ball, and they've chose not to. McCowan there obviously trying to get back on his left. Very difficult. Just trust the right foot. I knew you were going to say that, John.
Ball gets played ball.
It's so obvious.
Yeah, here's Ralston round the corner. McGregor though loses out. Shywell lifts it. Boyle gets the first chance to run. Schmeichel comes outside and knocks the ball out with his knee onto that far side through the little sliver of sunshine that's emerged right across the pitch. Hibs throw the ball in. Hibs coming from right to left, trying to find a way through. They've won just 2 of the last 28 in all competitions. Against Celtic, they've had habits of drawing. We'd love to get back on level terms here, and Celtic rarely drop 2 goals to anybody. Now round the corner it comes, we're offside. Obita had gone just that little bit too early, and Hibs, well, they've come out with the right attitude at the start of the second half, but things have to happen for them.
Yeah, I think you would expect them to come out 2-0 down at home, need a response, come out for the second half. You'd like to think they would be aggressive and try and find their way back into the game. It's then trying to add the quality to that in the final third and creating opportunities to go and get back into the game. For me, Celtic know what they have to do. They're moving the ball, still using the space well. It's a bit too easy to get out to your full-backs for me. For Celtic, Hibs are the chasing team.
If they scored in the Scottish Premiership this season, Hibs have not lost. They've scored in 10 games. They've won 5, they've drawn 5. But they tend to get a blank in the matches that they've lost as the ball comes running all the way through. Again, the long ball up for Celtic. It runs behind and Salinger will come. Although there's another problem, and I think it's the other Karen brother. I think Chris is down at the moment. Team's going to need some attention. Perhaps he's remained down. Conflicting signals to the bench. Somebody said yes, somebody said no. Chris Carden gets himself back up, and Salinger stands in the middle of his 6-yard box ready to get things going again. Hibs 0, Celtic 2. Stay with us here on BBC Radio Scotland. Rangers against Falkirk to come, and we'll keep you up to date with Livingston against Aberdeen. Now here's an opportunity for Hibs. Bowie has it on the halfway line, turns, spins, gets it out wide. Obita takes the ball in stride. Opportunity to get into the box. Brilliant across. The touch came and it's just wide. Brilliant play from Hibernian. It was Boyle who was in at the edge of the 6-yard box but couldn't divert on target.
It was all about the first touch of Obita, the diagonal pass, when he took it in his stride, never broke stride. Left foot, controlled it beautifully, his first touch, and whipped it in. Great delivery in the box. That could have been the one, just a whisker away in the back post there. Good play from Hibs.
Yeah, lovely play from Kieran Bowie, taking it under pressure. Sees the run of Obita. I just wondered if he could maybe have played it a half a second earlier. There was a space there for Martin Boyle coming in, albeit he put in a really good delivery. And Hibs now a big chance from a corner.
Yeah, referee gave the corner, so it is out on that far side. The opportunity to bring it in. Referee just lecturing at the moment. It's Jack Ardale who's up, being bumped as he comes across with Arnie Ingles. They continue to bump each other, they continue to be butt up against each other. Nick Walsh is now looking at the edge of the area where Bushiri, McGrath and O'Hara are. Now the opportunity for Hibs to swing the ball in, missed by everybody, it drops down. There was a shout for handball as the ball comes into Kasper Schmeichel. The referee said no, the Hibs players get back into their shape.
It was a tremendous ball in from Obita, whipped in. Good height and good pace.
Well, 1 or 2 Hibs players thought it was handball. There is certainly going to be a VAR check for a potential penalty, and Nick Walsh has basically said to Jack Ardale as the ball is out of play on this near side, you are going to have to wait. The appeals were many and they were rapid from Hibs. We shall see VAR going through the various steps that's required. It's Grant Irvine who's the VAR today. And is being checked, and the referee just standing. Nobody's surrounding him. Callum McGregor now just having a little chat with him. Martin Boyle comes over as well. It's always interesting, the players' reaction, John. I thought there was about 5 Hibs players who immediately claimed.
It's always hit his hand, but the question was it deliberate? Could he get his hand out of the way? We can't see it, but the reaction was.
That's Big Rocky's reaction to everything.
Fair point.
He's going to look at it.
So they will go to the monitor. It was the reaction of the Hibs players certainly appeared in unison, and Nick Walsh has been called over to have a look. Liam Scales is the player whose hand it hit, and it will be Nick Walsh now looking at the monitor down below us. David Gray is also looking over his shoulder, so he's shooed away.
Shoulder, maybe.
Well, it's a big moment in the game because Hibs need a way back. This could be it. Nick Walsh continues head down, looking at the monitor in his darker pink jersey, standing, continuing to look. Ewan Anderson making sure that nobody comes and peeks over his shoulder. Well, he's looking at it again and again. This is a big call. Nick Walsh turns, walks onto the field of play, whistle to his lips, signals penalty.
Game on.
I did say it. If there was one way back into the game, it would be from a set piece, but it was a long throw or a corner, and it's brought about a penalty for Hibs. McGrath missed the last one against Rangers here. Martin Boyle on the ball.
Scales yellow carded for the handball in the area. Well, there's big moments in games, and this is one of them.
Exactly what Hibs fans wanted.
Well, Martin Boyle has 3 goals and 24 appearances for Hibs against Celtic. Now there's pushing going on. Cadden is by the centre, by the penalty spot. He was pushing away Trusty. Schmeichel is now standing on it. Martin Boyle is just wandering across. Schmeichel, obviously, a little bit of mind games. Callum McGregor is in beside the referee as well, making his point, trying to put off Martin Boyle. Martin Boyle stands. Callum McGregor still speaking to the referee. He's pushed away. So Martin Boyle has been perfect from the spot this season. It's only 1 out of 1. It's a small sample size, but you would back Martin Boyle here.
He's going to lace it.
Boyle takes a step back. Boyle against Schmeichel. Boyle stands, shimmies, steps forward, lowers to the corner it goes. Open his foot, Schmeichel stayed still, and Hibs are back in it. Hibernian 1, Celtic 2.
Camley dispatch from Martin Boyle, slides into the corner. Schmeichel stands still. I don't know what's going on there.
Schmeichel is held on to the ball. Obita is there. And now Rocky Bushiri trying to wrestle it off him. Bushiri and Schmeichel having a little chat with each other. And the referee does have a yellow card out. He is going to yellow card Kasper Schmeichel. And it's game on again.
Yeah, momentum, big shift now. Stadium's energised, players are energised. 2-1. We did say it would be a set piece route back into the game, and Martin Boyle, the captain, steps up and slides it in the bottom corner.
Exactly what the game needed, exactly what Hibs needed. An early goal, energy now.
There's the voices of John Collins and Scott Allen. Both these players having played for both of these clubs, they know what this fixture is like. And the referee, there's a slight delay at the moment. VR are just checking the incident. They're happy that there was nothing more untoward than a yellow card for Kasper Schmeichel. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. Martin Boyle from the penalty spot in response to first half goals by Dazan Maida and Arnie Engels. And now Hibs have a little bit of life about them. Ralston plays the ball back to Schmeichel. Schmeichel being roundly booed by the home fans, as you would expect. Engels has it from Trusty back on to Schmeichel.
What a difference a goalkeeper that is calm when the ball at his feet makes to a back four.
It just takes the sting out of the intensity straight away, doesn't
every
it?
player round about him, look, he's just another outfield player. Let's use him.
Batati, lovely little 1-2, moving over the halfway line through the little bit of sunshine, played out wide now. Here's the opportunity. Cadden trying to defend, brilliant play on the inside. Young still going, there's the touch. He loses out at the edge of the area in the end. He'd done almost everything right there, Scott. I thought he was going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, it was really positive play. He was trying to find a way into the box, and he's just caught in 2 minds. As he went, do I take the shot or do I find Luke McKeown, who was out on this right hand side and caught in between? we've all done it. Well, maybe not John, but I've definitely done it before.
Ball gets played across by Celtic. They've gathered it again. And Callum McGregor, the skipper, plays it all the way back to Trusty. Trusty gets it infield onto Scales. Schmeichel says, no, I'll take that. And they'll pass it out wide.
Again, that's the difference. 9 out of 10 goalkeepers in Scotland just launched up the pitch. What does Schmeichel do? Lifts his head like a midfield player and pops it off to the left back. Quality.
So it's really interesting, because at this stage the easiest thing to do if you're in the back for your goalkeeper, the easiest thing to do is go long. That's where you think is the safest thing, but what Schmeichel's actually done there, he's just took all intensity out of Hibs press at a time where their tails are up, stadium's energised, and Celtic now back on the ball.
Long ball forward, O'Hara drops it down from the edge of his box, picked up by Hibs. Mulligan now onto Jack Ardale. Ardale launches it down this left hand side. Bowie was looking at the player rather than the ball, then pushes over Trusty. Trusty sends the ball back to his goalkeeper. He thumps it forward. Ardale wins the header, and the free kick I think has been given by Nick Walsh. Rio Hatate is complaining as well.
Good pressure on the ball from Bowie. I like saying that. He's chasing, he's putting the centre half under pressure, making him play a scrappy ball back. Exactly what you want from your number 9. Put pressure on centre halves.
So the opportunity will come for the throw for Celtic. Ralston off the bench this afternoon, his 12th appearance against Hibernian. Looks ahead, gets it on to McGowan. McGowan loses it out to Shaiwa, comes through, gets round Arnie Engels as well. Shaiwa into the middle, there was no takers. Boyle just couldn't get there in time. The ball runs right through the box, and Sarachi gets it away up to the halfway line. O'Hara in that little bit of sunshine turns, plays the ball back inside onto Bushiri, and it looks like we've got the Hibs from the first 20 minutes of the game back once more. It's blasted by Ardale.
Again, they're on the front foot, they're pressing Celtic at throw-ins. Straight away there, winning it from McGowan, making him play a sloppy pass back, energises the crowd.
It was actually a poor throw from Anthony Nelson into Luke McKibben there.
Bounced it into him.
Exactly. That should just be in. He can either take the touch, take the contact and bounce it back, or just bounce it back first time.
Mulligan gets the ball back once more. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. Boyle, 25 yards from goal, has got a chance to cut on the inside, lays it back to Shaiwa. Shaiwa has a look, plays it out onto Ardale. Ardale round the corner it comes, onto Obita. Obita drifting in. Will he try and get the cross in? He's done so. It's a great ball over, and Trusty knocks it away. Ardale at the edge of the box, heads it back across. Maida flicks it away before McGrath can get there, and Hatate scoops the ball up to the halfway line, but well, I mentioned Maida was back defending there, so it's an easy one for Bushiri, who manages to make it look difficult to his goalkeeper, and Salinger runs across and brings the ball under control. Right footed, goes long, right down that right hand side. Scales wins the header. Sarachi on the inside, back to Scales, lays it off nonchalantly to McGregor. McGregor through to Hatate. Hatate back onto Engels, centre circle, now out wide onto Yang. Again, Celtic passing the ball well. Bushiri booked off Maida. Now the ball comes to the side. There's the cross into the middle. Salinger will come and gather. It's game on again. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. Launch long, and Trusty has to knock the ball out of play. Bowie making his presence felt. Hibs going long on that occasion.
Yeah, from Celtic's point of view, I'm expecting better from Trusty. He's just going to head down out of the midfield player rather than heading out the park. But good pressure from Bowie again.
What can Hibs do? Well, they lost at Motherwell. They've not lost back-to-back games this season at all. They failed to score against Motherwell. It's just once in 22. They're on the score sheet today. As I mentioned earlier, if they scored in the Scottish Premiership this season, they haven't lost. Can they find a way to get the equaliser? Jack Ardale inside his own half, forward onto Jordan Obita. Obita out on the touchline, turns, plays it inside. That was a hopeful ball, and it goes to Callum McGregor, who lays it off to Hatate. Hatate round onto Yang. Yang's first touch, tried to get it away from O'Hara, but O'Hara comes and gathers. He now launches it long. Boyle is offside.
That's out as a throw-in, isn't it?
Or is the ball curled out of play? Because Boyle can't quite believe it. I thought he timed his run, but the flag is up. There's changes coming for Celtic. Benjamin Negrin's coming on, so too Kieran Tierney. Luke McGowan is done for the day, and Marcello Sarachi also is the player going off. So changes coming from Martin O'Neill.
I think no surprise.
No surprise. Negrin's he's one of the players who'll get you a goal, no getting away from that. For me, I do feel that's the best three, with Engels, Hatate, McGregor in that central area, but Negron's played on that right hand side on several occasions this year. Tierney comes on and replaces Sriracha.
He shows flashes of excellence, but he's inconsistent.
And that certainly has been his biggest problem. Off to the bench now for the 4th consecutive match. So Hibs 1, Celtic 2, all to play for at Easter Road as the ball comes forward by Celtic and drops back into their own half. You've got the rather bizarre situation of Hearts fans listening, hoping that Hibs will score a goal. It doesn't happen too often, and that's certainly the case. Here's Negron, gets his first touch, cross onto Arnie Engels, back onto Ralston, Trusty inside the area, back to Schmeichel, allows the ball to run across, takes a touch with the right foot, then the left, plays it out to Scales. Scales gets the ball forward onto Kieran Tierney. Tierney now trying to move the ball forward, never won at Easter Road. Kieran Tierney lost a couple of times as the ball gets played forward. It's into the midfield, won by Trusty. Trusty got it forward to Engels. Engels lost out though, and O'Hara comes from the back. Maida nipping away at him. He wins the ball, comes on to Engels. Engels springs out wide onto Negron, and he's going to come down this right hand side to Jack Hardale. Back on the inside it comes onto Engels. Here's Ralston. Ralston picks up, sends it back inside his own half onto Scales. Scales now striding forward slowly, tries to find Maida, and Mulligan nips in, wins the ball and the second time to get it away from Arnie Engels. Hibs can build through Ardale. He swings it forward looking for Bowie. Great control, tried to get it through the legs of Trusty, couldn't do so, and Trusty recovers, plays the ball back to Callum McGregor, onto Ralston. Ralston now, well, inexplicably sends the ball out of play. I'm not sure if he was going for Austin Trusty. It's not the best part of the park. It looks like there's 3 different lanes where players have been doing runs, so certainly a little bit rutted down there, but doesn't excuse the pass.
Disappointing from Ralston, but he gave it away because of the pressure put on by the Hibs players, nice and compact together, pressing as a unit there.
So here's the opportunity for the throw. Jack Ardale more than capable. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. 64, nearly 65 minutes gone. Ball thrown in. Ralston won the header. It goes back to Schmeichel, and Schmeichel gathers, steps forward, and now drills the ball all the way down to his opposite number. It was the wrong side for Maida.
Well, I'll give him lots of credit, but I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Well, if he was looking for space, that's what he found.
I think he was trying to make the kick look good, to be honest.
Here's Negron in the middle. Callum McGregor, the skipper, gets it out wide onto Kieran Tierney. Tierney onto Yang, attacking the box. Tierney wanted it back, cuts inside. There's the shot that actually hits Engels in the face. The flag goes up. Arnie Engels has been in the wars today. That one rattled him in the chops, but the flag was up anyway. Daniel McFarlane and Frank Connor are assistant referees, and Hibs will get the chance to bring it away, and we get the chance to hear the thoughts of John Collins.
I think Yang's looking really sharp last couple of games, really positive. Every single time he picks the ball, his first thought is can I put the pull back on the back foot, can I drive him, no go sideways, and he tries to get his shot off every time. I'd like to see him hit the target more, but he's looking like he's fully confident.
I mean, he looks like a completely different player over the last 2 games. I think sometimes as a player, especially at a club like Celtic, it just takes a couple of moments to make it click for you. I remember when Kuhn came in initially, didn't quite get off to the kind of form we've seen him in the price tag that he left with, but Yang over the last 2 games has shown a real drive, a bit of tenacity in terms of how he plays. I'm not being
just a positivity. I think he wants the ball, and he's hungry to go at fullbacks.
Is Martin O'Neill a big factor in that as well? Without conversations he's probably had in the training ground.
Long ball gets played through. Hibs have made a change. They brought on Josh Campbell for Jordan Obita. When we talk about Yang, this is his 76th game for Celtic. Wow. So he has been here.
76?
Yeah. But I think this is the best I've seen him play. I've not seen every game, but certainly
he had a really good game last year against St Mirren. I remember it because I was at it. He was really good that night, but it was more putting the games together. So that consistency, which is the hardest thing for any players, putting the consistency of good performances, but he'll be happy with how he's.
It looks to me like the manager and the coach in the bar just says, look, see, one thing in your mind, go at the full, don't think about passing it back to the full back and go back out the other side. Be positive. He's certainly doing it every time he gets the ball.
Simplify the game for him.
Celtic move forward. They played the ball across their own 6-yard box, which brought a little gasp from some of the Hibs fans as Campbell tried to close down. But Celtic are being forced back again. So beat it off, Campbell on, scored the 2 goals back in February that saw Hibs take all 3 points from Celtic. And he's up today to see what trouble and mischief he can cause. Celtic gather, looking to move it forward through Scales. Hibs just sitting off him and allowing him to come forward. There's the touch, Hitati and Yang again combining. Yang, he's going to go on the overlap for Kieran Tierney. Tierney tried to play it himself. Yang's continued the run inside the box. Bushiri comes, headers the ball and headers Yang. The ball is not cleared yet. Down onto the Hitati, ball on the left foot, played it through, found Bushiri. It's a head knock. Referee really should stop play. Bushiri certainly won the ball, but I think he won the man as well.
Well, did we not see a penalty for that last night at Rugby Park? To the back of the head?
I think it bounced up in between them, 50-50, and they both dipped their head, and Bushiri's been a little bit more positive with his header. Yang just tried to nip it. Those are the sore ones though.
Yeah, I wouldn't know I'd have jumped it at that one.
Nah, sometimes it's good knowing when to get out of the way, Scott.
Absolutely.
He's okay though, it looks like he's up, he's going to get up, it's fine, thankfully.
But it was really positive play from Yang again. He's dropped into that pocket, so he's not just been on the touchline today, he's been dropped into that half space, and they just don't know whether to go in with him or not. He's on the half turn, he's then released the pass, and then he's on the second ball as well. There's so much to like about his performance today.
Right, it was the perfect play, dropped in the pocket, pass came in, took it on the back foot, fired the pass hard out to Kieran Tierney, never just stood and admired the pass, says I'm wanting it again, I'm going round you to make it an option. Excellent play.
It's an enjoyable game at Easter Road so far. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. Hibs with the 2 first half goals. Beg your pardon, Celtic with the 2 first half goals. Hibs with that second half penalty. Now the ball gets played away. Hibs are having a really good start to the season. You compare that to last term, where after this stage they won only 1 game. That was against St Johnstone. Hibs were bottom of the table this time last year, and then they got that 3-3 draw against Aberdeen, and they're all changed from there. Just 1 loss at 18 at home in the league since then. Celtic started to come forward through Scales. Yang is returned to the field. Hitati given away. That was a terrible ball to him. Now McGrath gets it onto Bowie. Back out to McGrath. Sends it down the side, the left hand side. Bowie is there. He's going to get his body in the way. Wins the touch down by the corner flag. Hits it off Ralston. Wins the throw. That's about all he could do from there.
Yeah, really good play from Kieran Bowie. Protected the ball well. Got his team a throw in. But it's that straight pass we spoke about half time. Liam Scales gets sucked into playing it, and Hibs are just ready to pounce. Won the ball back really well.
Shiwer gets the ball onto Ardale. Ardale said, come on, somebody move for me. Gets it into Mulligan, who's the closest player to him. Now on this left hand side, clips it forward. Mulligan being asked to chase. Ralston is going to have to play that. Mulligan plays him. Ralston then knocks the ball away with his hand. And a rather cheap free kick in the end, because he was almost round him.
I mean, Mulligan's all over the pitch, great energy levels, pressing, looking to intercept, again pressing, Ralston there putting him under pressure, maybe a little bit of a nudge, but he's looking sharp, Mulligan, and fit.
Yeah, he's been such a good signing. I mean, big loss too for Dundee. He played 40 times for them last season. Not really a big influence on Hibernian, and he's been ever present. Now the ball gets played forward.
Yeah, him and McGrath have been really good signings for Hibs. They've come in and made the starting 11 stronger, and that was an area of the pitch that Hibs had to improve in the summer, and they've definitely done that with the 2 additions.
So the opportunity now for the ball to come forward for Jamie McGrath, the Republic of Ireland internationalist, 13 caps now. Takes the ball right on the halfway line, just on the left hand side. David Gray just having a little chat down below us, thinking about another change perhaps. Celtic, well, Maida is about 10 yards away from the ball, but everybody else is in a defensive position way behind. McGrath, right foot up to the edge of the area. Scales climbed up well and won it. Flicked on by Yang, but it comes back onto McGrath. McGrath sends it round the corner onto Jack Ardale. Ardale into the middle, hits off Hitati. The ball comes across. There was almost a glancing header. There was 2 Hibs players in there. It would have been offside. Schmeichel stayed put, which I think was the right thing, because he would have blocked anything coming his way. But really, it's so open now. It's great.
And that's what we spoke about goals. That's what goals do. The momentum swings, energy comes back into the Hibs players and the fans. and the distances become a little bit smaller because you've got something to get back in the game. And Celtic just haven't quite found the same rhythm as they had especially that last 20 minutes of the first half.
Ball gets sent forward by Salinger, picked up well.
Brilliant
By Campbell. Tried to get it out wide, but Ralston was in there. McGregor there, back onto Ralston, under pressure from McGrath, and he'll see it back to his goalkeeper. If you're in any doubt, the Hibs fans are booing Kasper Schmeichel every time he gets the touch, and I'll tell you what, Kasper Schmeichel will not care a jot. Here's the opportunity for Trusty to bring the ball forward. Round it goes onto Yang. Yang opens it up to Tierney, halfway line, left hand side. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. Scales comes through the sunshine. He's coming in between the Pat Stanton stand and the famous 5 stand. A beautiful day in Edinburgh. St Andrew's Day has brought some sunshine to the capital. Now the ball gets taken back by Tierney into McGregor. Celtic left to right as we watch from the main stand. Martin O'Neill stands in his trademark tracksuit. Sean Maloney behind him in the coat. And Celtic are going to make a change. Philip Bernardo is going to come on, and Trusty. As Celtic come from the halfway line all the way back inside that area, and Schmeichel will lift it out wide. Nobody is near Tierney, so he's got time to bring it down and bring it up to the halfway line. Mulligan drifts across. Tierney lays the ball off onto Yang, and cuts inside, gets it away to Tati very quickly. Minded made a great run into the area. Tati didn't think it was on, so he kept the ball, went backwards, turned, played onto McGregor, closed down by Campbell, who tried to swim past him and ended up on his knees. Got up quickly, now pursuing Scales. Scales gets the ball to McGregor on the halfway line, out wide onto Austin Trusty. Trusty back out wide onto Ralston. Ralston sees the run of McGregor. Now McGregor, Benjamin Negron almost forgot he was on. He's been starved to the ball. Turned back onto McGregor. Good movement from Celtic, just need to find that killer pass. Ralston. Hibs also marking up well. McGregor back to the halfway line, onto Trusty. Trusty looks ahead, onto Scales. 75 minutes gone at Easter Road, 15 to play. The away side leading by 2-1. They're on the ball too, round the corner it goes, onto Yang. Yang gets away from Hura, he's inside the box, he's still going, drags the ball back. Nobody down the middle for him. They'd all come out to this right hand side or further forward on the right. Beautiful drag back. Now here's Benjamin Negron. Negron tries to take the step inside, but it's won by Jamie McGrath. Bowie's made the run forward. He's over the head of Trusty. He's going to try and take the touch in between the centre halves. Got away from Scales, but Trusty recovered. Back to Schmeichel it went, and Schmeichel rolls the ball up the middle. Some great football being played.
Superb football, especially for Celtic. The last 10 minutes are really moving the ball superbly well.
That was a great move, wasn't it? It was a lovely bit of skill there from Yang. Ball obviously played down to him. He's got the man, I think it's Chris Cadden. He's facing that stand in front of him, Yang, and he just Chris Cadden goes with the body movement, so he shapes as if he's going to take it back the way and just lets it open up on the outside of his right foot. He just didn't have anyone in the box for the cutback. Really good play from Celtic over the last few minutes.
Celtic at a perfect 8 out of 8 if they score first in the Scottish Premiership this season. They lead here by 2-1. Led 2-0. Hibs with a penalty in the second half. And Celtic have the ball as Bushiri heads it from the halfway line. Wide onto Kieran Tierney. Tierney strokes it forward, looking for Maida. Maida takes a touch inside the box. Bushiri has to get a diving header. Sends behind. Hibs players are claiming handball, but it's going to be a corner.
I don't think he needed to dive ahead and give the corner away. Bushiri there. I'd like to see him use his strength. Get in front of him.
Here's the change coming. Yeah, he just seemed to go to ground quite easily. So change is being made. Paulo Bernardo coming on. Well, I'm trying to see who's coming off for Celtics. They don't have a number 41. Itati, he's coming off, yeah. Itati's 41. he was hiding, he didn't want to come off.
No, he didn't look happy, did he?
I
like that. I do like that when players are happy when they're coming off.
Yeah. I think he was trying to pretend they didn't have a number 41. He wanted to stay on, but he's walking off as slowly as you would like. Gives us a chance to ask the question, how big was the best move of the first half ended up with Sriracha hitting the post? That could have been game over, and all of a sudden Celtic are still having a fight here in the second half. Small moments.
Yeah, and that's football. We see it time and time again. Hatate obviously coming off there, looks disappointed to come off. I think he's been excellent today. He's just never flustered on the ball, isn't he? He enjoys having it, enjoys the pressure, and he's got the skills to get out of that pressure. He's had really big moments today. And Paolo Bernardo, it's an opportunity. I also spoke about Martin O'Neill using the squad. It's a big opportunity for Paolo Bernardo to come on and have an impact on the Celtic side.
Celtic are taking their time with this corner. It will be delivered across. All sorts of pushing going on in the middle. It comes in, it blocks Tierney almost in there, and Cadden, well, I think Cadden just swung that and just knocked it out of play. I thought he could have cleared that for a throw. He's conceded a corner.
I agree with you. I think you've got to think, okay, it's just as easy to kick it out for a throw as it is for a corner. Hook it round.
Hibs outmanned 2-1 on that corner. Ball swung into the middle, touched away by Hura. Down the middle it goes. Shaiwa slipped as he got it in the D, and he managed to get the ball clear. If you weren't with us earlier on BBC Radio Scotland, Martin O'Neill saying he could well be in charge of Celtic on Wednesday against Dundee. Changes coming. Eli Johan is going to come on. Shaiwa coming off. Barlaser coming on as well. Josh Mulligan going off, so a triple change for Hibs. And Joe Newell, the skipper who's not played at all this season, gets himself back onto the field, and this is a big moment for Hibs to welcome back the captain.
Fresh legs. I don't know if I'd taken Josh Mulligan off, to be honest.
No.
Johan brings pace, freshness,
unpredictability.
Yeah, you're never sure, mind you, he's never sure either. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. 79 minutes gone in an entertaining old contest at Easter Road. Ball thrown in, Bowie can't get there. Breaks through, Negron comes up. Ardale just stood there, and the referee deciding that was a free kick. He's telling the man to get up. Where was Ardale supposed to go?
So it's a throw in. Ardale's got the throw in. He throws it to the head of Bowie. What's Bowie supposed to do? It's the most stupid thing to do on a football pitch. He's got somebody marking in front of him, somebody marking behind him, a touch line to the right of him, and you throw it up the line. Only in Scottish football you get that every single game.
And that's not the first time that's happened today.
That's my head in. Blooming hell, just throw it to somebody's feet and get the ball back from a throw. Is it difficult?
Just get the centre back to drop off, throw it back, walk the ball back to your goalkeeper. Use your goalkeeper as the spare man and you play.
Oh, sorry, my pet hate.
That's all right, the key's in the word football.
Football, exactly. But poor centre forward, thrown it to his head. Nobody's behind him.
And then the shout comes, make it stick.
Scott Allen, John Collins alongside me, Paul Mitchell here on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound on a Sunday afternoon. Still to come from Ibrox, Rangers against Falkirk, and we'll keep you up to date with all the happenings between Livingston and Aberdeen. If Livingston could win that, they cut the gap on Aberdeen just to a single point, so it's a big game for both teams there. The ball is back with Kasper Schmeichel inside his box.
Great pass.
Strokes the ball forward, finds Hitati. There's lots of room starting to occur. Great run made by Celtic. Negron, Engels had made the run, now it's onto Negron. Negron into the area. Mahora drops the ball down onto Rocky Bushiri. Bushiri now sends the ball forward, taken down by Ralston on the halfway line, closed down by Bushiri, picked up by Boyle. I beg your pardon, it was McGrath, sends round the corner looking for Campbell. Tell you what, you're going to have to be careful in possession because everybody's snapping away here.
Yeah, there's lots on the line for both clubs. Celtic obviously get the 3 points, and Hibs trying to find a way back into the game. Wouldn't expect it any other way. 10 minutes to go.
Here come Hibs through the header from Ardale. Doesn't get it past Paolo Bernardo. Bernardo on that left-hand side lays the ball back, and it's gathered once more by Yang. Yang sends it back onto Scales on the halfway line. Both managers making changes. Let's see what difference it has. Oh, Maida's gone past two. Clips the ball out wide. Tierney sends the ball across. The cross is way too strong. It goes behind. But Maida, well, he was like a skier there, slaloming in between the gates.
It was brilliant. For me, it was the wrong choice to pass. He should just have kept going himself and had pulled the trigger. Right foot, striking the top corner. That's what you'd have done.
No, I would have passed it as well. Listen, it was a really good play initially from Maeda. Even when he does work it, Kieran Tierney's got to do a lot better there, show a lot more quality. It's a rush cross. I can't quite see what he was actually looking to do.
It was a strange ball in the end from Kieran Tierney. Celtic have won a free kick on the edge of the D inside their own half, and it's going to be in that centre circle, having a little look, and pushed wide by McGregor. McGregor into Scales, round the corner, onto Kieran Tierney, who
I mean, the trust between Scales and McGregor's tremendous. Calm, just his body language, he points with his finger, tells Scales exactly where he wants the ball. Somebody's marking him tight, but they say no, he doesn't care somebody's marking him tight, still plays the pass.
Salinger gets the ball forward, Ralston meets it inside the centre circle, scooped high in the air. The challenge was a fair one. The ball comes down to Jamie McGrath, off onto Josh Campbell. Campbell takes a touch and a turn. Celtic are going to make another change. Sebastian Tinekti is getting ready to come on. Now the ball forward from Ardale. Ardale, it's a great run by Eli Yuan up in the edge of the area, but he was marked all the way by Scales, and Scales has to turn it behind for a corner, and Eli Yuan showing his pace there.
Big moment here for Hibs, another set piece.
So the opportunity from the corner, and Jamie McGrath saw that Eli Yuan was breaking to try and take the short corner. He said, don't worry about it, I've got this. He's going to deliver it across. 7 minutes to play plus stoppage time at Easter Road. Hibs 1, Celtic 2. Here's the chance from the corner. McGrath hooks it in, goalkeeper comes, gets a fist to it, did well. Bushiri was in behind. Barlaser gets it back into the area. There's a chance. Joe Newell has the opportunity. Try and get it across. Callum McGregor made the block, and Ralston comes across. Hibs are hunting in packs here at the moment. They've won the ball back. Again, it's with Bowie. Bowie sees the ball, blocked past him. Back onto Campbell. Free kick. Maida's taking his man down on that far side. And the opportunity to get the ball in this time from the right-hand side. Hibs really pressing, throwing everybody forward. The opportunity to deliver from the right hand side, bit of pressure to come. Jamie McGrath will be the player to play it in. Rocky Bushiri was so frustrated there because he thought he had the goal at his mercy, but the fist of Schmeichel.
He gets another attempt here.
Well, he's up. Rocky Bushiri
just put it between the goalkeeper
and that back line,
right inside that zone.
4 goals last season for Rocky Bushiri, 4 goals this season. Now the chance to deliver. McGrath. Referee stands at the edge of the box watching. McGrath plays it in. The header does come down. Brilliant save! Schmeichel goes down low at his post to turn it behind. The offside flag was up. The header was on target, and he somehow scooped the ball around the post.
Again, everything good about it. Great delivery in. Good header heading for the bottom corner. Terrific save by Schmeichel.
So Tinekti getting ready to come on. I missed the board, so I didn't see who's been called. It is Yang's number that has gone up.
Yang's had a terrific game. Really looking really confident, looking sharp and positive. Tinekti's been a strange player for me. Shows so much promise, so much skill, beats players at end product. When to shoot, when to cross, when to lift the head. If you look at his stats before he arrived, his stats are really poor.
But that's, I think, as you know, Joe, that's what separates you when you come to a club like Celtic. Yes, you can have all the tricks and that directness, but you have to have the numbers and end product to go alongside it.
And that's where he's got to work at if he wants to become a top player.
Campbell launches the ball forward. Bowie at the edge of the area.
He's in.
Across. There's the chance. Schmeichel with a save from Cannon. The ball scooped high in the air and goes behind for a corner. Brilliant ball in by Bowie. Chris Cannon opened up the right foot. Wonder if he should have gone across the goalkeeper. He drilled it low and Schmeichel made the save.
Outstanding from Bowie. He's had a really good second half. And he's not trying to pick Chris Cadden out. He's just putting the ball into an area for someone to go and attack. Chris Cadden stepping onto the ball, maybe do better, but it's a fantastic save from Kasper Schmeichel.
Corner comes in. Campbell won the header 8 yards out, high up and over the crossbar. It is not for the one to try and John Collins that Hibs are pressing.
All credit to Hibs second half. They've kept at it. There's periods when Celtic have had dominated possession, but they've stayed compact, kept working and creating chances now towards the end of the game. They're looking at a team that's more likely to score.
Kasper Schmeichel, who has been terrific for Celtic this season. 8 clean sheets. 8 times he's played Hibs. He's got 4 clean sheets in that one.
Well, Bowie's done really well in this second half. He's not allowed Trusty to get any time to clear things with any quality. He's constantly put him under pressure, nudging him, being aggressive with him, and so it just means the clearance isn't. He can't pick a teammate out, so he's constantly having to think, where's the pressure coming from, and it's really affected Trusty, especially these last 10 minutes.
Ardale, I thought he was fouling on Engels. The ball gets played out to Negrin. I think Celtic would have rather had the free kick there. Ralston I think, has gone down awkwardly, and now, well, that was a foul. Ardale goes down, Engels went down, he bounces himself back up. It will be a free kick. Nick Walsh is being caught between, you're trying to let the game flow and let advantage go. I still think Celtic would have preferred the free kick about 30 seconds ago.
I think Nick Walsh has done really well. Both sets of players are snapping into tackles, looking to press, and you get contact when you're doing that, but it's nothing nasty. There's not been a nasty tackle the whole game.
4 players in the book: Shewa, Donovan, Scales and Schmeichel. Scales was for the handball and Schmeichel was for lingering and then getting himself involved. So the referee has been fairly lenient in the tackles, as John said. Now Celtic have the free kick outside the box, right hand side, 20 yards from goal. Negron and Engels, Callum McGregor giving him the instruction, and again just another few precious seconds ebb away off the Easter Road clock. Here's the chance to get the ball in. Nobody is beyond the penalty spot. Now the delivery, Negron plays it in, O'Hara gets it away, brings back to Callum McGregor. McGregor steps on the inside, great block from Joe Newell. McGregor's got a terrific goal last weekend against St Mirren to take all 3 points. Now the ball's on the angle. Celtic rather just knocked that behind, and it is going to be a goal kick. The referee saying play to continue. Has the ball gone out for a throw? First of all, the referee said yes. Celtic's trusty is slow to get back to his feet, and certainly he's hobbling his way up. Now has a look at the referee.
Callum McGregor's eyes lit up there, didn't it, when the ball dropped him at the edge of the box. We've seen some of the goals he scored against Rangers St Mirren of recent times. Hibs done really well to go out and close it down and try to chop it back onto his right foot. Hibs had the numbers in the box to get the block on it.
He's scoring his 3rd straight away Scottish Premiership match. Joe Newell was upended by Engels, wasn't much in it, looked more accidental, but it's a free kick and it's a chance for Hibs to get the ball forward. Time ticking away. The indications are, we've not seen the board yet, there will be 5 additional minutes to be played at Easter Road. It's 89.5 minutes on the clock. Midas not stepped away from the free kick. Salinger takes up to the edge of the area. It's won by Ardale, breaks inside the box. There's an opportunity for Bushiri. Bushiri turns and it's blocked by McGregor, or Scales and up and over. The flag is up, it wouldn't have counted anyway. But again, the Celtic goal under severe threat.
Again, good delivery, lots of bodies in the box, bobbling, bouncing everywhere.
They have that physicality, but Celtic just can't get clean contact to get the clearance away. And every time Hibs are chasing a goal, Rocky Bishiri's always there about looking to get on the score sheet. I love it.
But Rocky does like to get into that box to see what he can do. Now he has to do a bit of heading. Gets away from Maida. Maida backed into him. It's a free kick. Engels has reacted angrily. Joe Newell runs away. Engels gets involved. Paulo Bernardo as well. Getting a little bit heated there. Hibs play the ball away down the side onto Eli Yuan. Yuan knocks it off of Ralston. Out of play it goes for a throw. Celtic are on their heels at Easter Road. Here's Ardale from the throw. Lifts it up, looking for Eli Yuan. Controls it with his right foot. Knocked out of play by Ralston, down by the corner flag. Jack Ardale is the long throw expert, and he's going all the way back to the board. He's just wiping off the ball using his jersey. Celtic have everybody, and I mean everybody, back inside that penalty box. Tyson Midas pretty decent in the air as that ball comes in. It's flicked on by Yuan, drops inside the box as Maidu gets it away, back to Ardale, who opens it up, high into the box it goes. Celtic get it away, nice touch, but it's going to break back for Barleza. He sends it round the corner looking for McGrath. McGrath trying to get away from Tierney, did so but couldn't get away from Tinekti. Now the ball forward up to Maida. Maida blocked initially, but the ball breaks back out wide. So another lovely pass by Celtic. Arnie Engels stroked it out wide to Tinekti on the halfway line, and Celtic bring it back across their back 4. Now it's gathered by Engels. That was a really interesting ball. Newell came in, they came through the man to win the ball. Free kick given to Celtic, and Joe Newell just checks that Arnie Engels is okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he's not going to hurry back onto his feet.
Again, good from Hibs midfield. Joe Newell, ball's coming to Engels. He's not letting him turn, he's not sitting off him, he's pressing him, putting him under pressure. Done very well the second half here, Hibs.
Martin O'Neill's last game in charge of Celtic in his first spell was a Scottish Cup final win against Dundee United. And he thinks he might be in charge on Wednesday night against Dundee. But if this is to be his farewell party, then his side are going to take all 3 points as it stands into stoppage time. Half of that is almost gone. Ardale, Hibs inside their own half. Played forward to the skipper, Joe Newell. Good to see him back on the field. Forward towards Ellie Yuan. Ralston gets the header inside, but rather flat-footed was Bowie, and the ball breaks back inside onto McGregor, and it's knocked away from Celtic. Hibs just want to curate one final good quality chance.
They've given everything second half, Hibs. All credit to them. Every single player, subs have come on, have been at it.
You can say there's a wee bit of nervousness about Celtic. The ball drops to McGregor, and usually would take that touch, have a wee bit of presence of mind to pick out the pass, and he just rushed it away. But this is the time in the game Celtic have to defend properly.
Ardale heads the ball forward, gets it on to Bowie. Yuan tries to get in there, and his jersey pull goes to ground, and the referee does give the free kick. He was trying to let play to continue. He's done that all afternoon, Nick Walsh, but that was a free kick to Hibs, 30 odd yards from goal, and here is the chance they were looking for. So the opportunity to lift this one forward. Well, Ellie Yuan has scored 3 goals against Celtic, so too has Josh Campbell. Kieran Bowie has never found the back of the net against Celtic.
Starts with a good delivery.
There's always a bit of pressure on the delivery when you're a player at this moment. You know you're chasing the game.
Just drop it into that zone, halfway between the goalkeeper and the back line.
Rocky Bushiri is saying, "Not me, ref. Who do you want to speak to?" And Arnie Engels comes forward. It's Jack Ardale as well. Yeah, there's a big difference between delivering this in the 94th minute to the 4th minute.
Yes.
Pressure.
Well, it calls for a big moment. Jamie McGrath lifts it into the middle. Trusty and Scales get the head away, breaks to Barlaser, he'll pass it out wide. Here's the opportunity to cross, chance, Bushiri can't get there, it's Trusty who gets the header. Breaks down for Ellie Yuan, outside the box, left hand side. Jack Ardale is there, back on to Ellie Yuan. Celtic leading by 2-1. Ardale gets the shout, Barlaser wants to cross this into the area, crosses it in, it's too deep, it goes behind, and Celtic will likely leave Easter Road with all 3 points. Josh Campbell runs into Schmeichel. Schmeichel feigns being hit slightly, and he moves back, but Kasper Schmeichel will just take his time now.
You've got to give a lot of credit to Celtic. They've faced a lot of dangerous balls into their box. They've had to defend, they've had to go on the second balls, and they've done it quite well. Yes, Hibs get back into the game from the set piece from the corner that then led to the penalty. Since then, Hibs have really been pushing, gave it everything to get back into this game, get a point.
It's all over at Easter Road, a third of 3 straight away games for Celtic. They won in Paisley, they won in Holland, and they've won here today at Easter Road. The players embrace. Celtic impressive after a 20-minute spell from Hibs in the first half where they ran the show, but goals from Maida and Engels in that first half for Hibernian. That was a penalty in the second half. Scales handled in the box. Martin Boyle rolled the ball into the back of the net, but there was no further way through, and Celtic leave with all 3 points. It's finished at Easter Road. Hibernian 1, Celtic 2.